Taking a time trip. Gonna take you back to the past. Look at this. Look at this CGI, man.
For the Boston Celtics, it has been the kind of year teams dream about. Nightly clinics on how the game should be played. The architect, Larry Bird, arguably the NBA's best all-round performer.
Yep.
But Bird's 30 points took a backseat to the clutch second-half shooting of Dennis Johnson in the Celtics' first game playoff victory.
Damn, all right, so DJ was the main guy in Game 1.
Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls put on a memorable individual display in the opening game of the series. Virtually every move Jordan made proved successful. No matter who the Celtics tried, Jordan had the answer.
This is going to be so cool.
That translated into 49 brilliant points. But when it ended, Michael Jordan and the Bulls came up short.
Damn, man. So Game 1, 49 points, no avail.
Today is Game 2. Again, it's Bird and Jordan, two great stars of the NBA. Square off in Boston, the backdrop, as the Celtics and the Bulls go at it once more in the playoffs.
Poor MJ's thinking, okay, 49 points wasn't enough. I got to do more. And then what does he do this game? God.
It is the first week of the NBA playoffs, and this is Game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls before the 262nd consecutive sellout in Boston Garden. Looking at the Eastern Conference playoff fight, Atlanta already has a 2-0 lead. Milwaukee will try for 2 in a row against New Jersey later today, and Philadelphia will try to rebound from a stunning loss to Washington on Friday night. And hello again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, and welcome to the NBA on CBS. Well, the Boston Celtics won more games than anyone this year in the league. They had the biggest winning streak at 14. They have won more championships, as everyone knows, at 15. But perhaps the most impressive...
Guys, the pregame stuff is going to last another, 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just let it play. So this first quarter will probably be the longest quarter.
Number was their fantastic and astounding home court record. 40-1 and 31 consecutive games to finish the season in the regular year, and then they beat Chicago in the first game. Tommy Heizman will be inducted into Basketball's Hall of Fame on May the 6th, who played for the Boston Celtics. On this very floor, this team apparently has no weaknesses. Is that true?
They have a very strong inside game, Dick. Multiple low-post players, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Bill Walton, Larry Bird. Very difficult to stop. Timely defense, team defense, the best kind. So they're very difficult to stop. Outside shooting, they've got it all.
Now so all of you Jordan haters out there saying, oh, he couldn't beat the 86 Celtics. Yeah, nobody could. Nobody
Chicago
could.
Bulls with over 50 losses, 52 to be exact, the worst record of any team in the playoffs.
Hold up.
So they're very difficult to stop. Outside shooting, they've got it all.
Now the Chicago Bulls with over 50 losses, 52 to be exact, the worst record of any team in the playoffs, but they have a good excuse. They never really found an identity this year. All kinds of injuries, suspensions. Michael Jordan, the biggest one. He went down with a broken left foot on the third game of the year, missed 3/4 of the season. But did he light up this place on Thursday night with a brilliant 49-point effort? Jordan, is he single-handed for Chicago? What's the story there?
I know. So that's a situation here that people don't want to talk about. He was injured all year, just came back. He was on a minutes restriction leading up to the playoffs, and then they set him loose in the playoffs. But they had no business competing against the Celtics. They barely had any business being in the playoffs. You know, they didn't have Jordan almost all year.
Too much for one man to try and beat the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
Other players have to get involved. Michael Jordan scored half their points in the first half on the other night, and they end up 2 points down.
Damn.
That's astounding. But it's too draining an experience, and they must put pressure on the other Celtic defenders by getting the likes of Dave Corazine, Kyle Macy involved, as well as Orlando Woolridge.
All right, so that's the story right here.
And that's what Jordan learned later on, and these were the experiences that taught him that. One man can't do it, no matter how good you are.
And Pat O'Brien is with the man who lit up the place, Michael Jordan.
Oh, snap.
Thank you, Dick. Michael just got a nice round of applause here. The question is, can one man beat the Lakers, or do you need a more diversified attack today?
Well, we're playing the Boston Celtics, Pat, but I think it's going to be more of a...
Wait, what did he say?
Thank you, Dick. Michael just got a nice round of applause here. The question is, can one man beat the Lakers, or do you need...
Oh, he said the Lakers. Oh, man. All right, now I get you, Michael.
Need a more diversified attack today.
Well, we're playing the Boston Celtics, Pat, but I think it's going to be more of a 5-man game, and we really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
It's hard to imagine that 6 weeks ago you were sitting on the bench.
Yes, it is. It's very hard for me to imagine. I'm very happy I'm playing now, and I'm very happy that I can contribute to the team.
All right, thank you. Good luck today. You don't have to remind me again that you are playing the Boston Celtics. Air Jordan's getting ready to take off. The problem is the runway is in Boston, so...
Dude, that's what I love about MJ, dude. Like, he scored half of his team's points, and he's still saying, I'm just glad to be able to contribute and help my team. You know, like, come on.
In. This is the NBA on CBS.
Oh, my God.
The starting lineups for Game 2 are the same as they were for Game number 1. Starting out with the Chicago Bulls. Their leading scorer, Orlando Woolridge, up front. Top rebounder, rookie Charles Oakley and veteran Dave Corzine. In the backcourt, Michael Jordan and Kyle Macy, the playmaker. And Stan Albeck in his first year as coach of Chicago. For the Boston Celtics, their front court of Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, and Robert Parrish, all amongst the league leaders in scoring and shooting. And in the backcourt, Dennis Johnson, the catalyst on defense, Danny Ainge.
Good luck,
Jones,
Bulls.
Another marvelous job as coach of the Celtics.
KC Jones.
Jake O'Donnell and Jack Middleton are the officials, and Jack Nees will be the alternate. And we're underway here. The Celtics
here we go. Here we
the
go.
Bulls in red and Boston
All right,
control.
guys. I have not watched this in years. Let's do this. I'm excited.
Dennis Johnson will check the matchups, guarded by Jordan inside McHale, and McHale gets a quick hoop inside.
Stan Albeck hoping that their center...
You guys, don't just watch Jordan, okay? Watch McHale, watch Bird, watch all these greats. The Celtics are amazing at this point.
Dave Corzine will be able to muscle Kevin McHale, take his inside game away from him.
But the Celtics have a definite size advantage over the Chicago Bulls, who may be a little quicker, but they prefer not to run. At least they didn't in the first game. Jordan misses, and McHale gets the rebound.
Started out short there.
Danny Ainge had a fine year. Larry Bird, guarded by Woolridge.
Tough shot.
And Corzine gets the rebound for Chicago. Amazingly, in the regular season, in the season series, the Bulls had an edge in offensive rebounding over the Celtics. Not many teams can claim that.
Oakley and Sidney Green, two real quick board bangers.
Ooh, one dribble.
Off the bench,
Parrish got him. Corzine.
Blocks, and they're going to call goaltending against Robert Parrish and credit Michael Jordan.
Ooh.
So it looks all right.
Was that a goaltending?
Quick board bangers.
Green.
It's too blurry. I can't tell.
Parrish.
What do you guys think?
Blocks, and they're going to call goaltending against Robert Parrish and credit Michael Jordan. So it looks already as if the Celtics are going to give
and on a video like this, guys, like hopefully this gets to you. But if it does get to you, timestamps are crucial here, okay? Like I want to see all your comments, but like timestamp it as far so we all have context.
a lot of help to Michael Jordan.
The first defense against Michael Jordan is Dennis Johnson. He's got to try and keep him out of the middle and angle him off the hoop a little bit.
Good luck, DJ.
He tried
It's all about that second line and third line of defense.
He got a bit fatigued. Not before 49 points, however. Dennis Johnson with 7 in a row at one stretch in the third period, misses here.
Damn, so DJ was hot in game one.
Early, Dick, is the tempo of the game by the Bulls to try and get
Got you, Bird. Yep.
opportunity.
Jordan found his way in once again and has his second basket. All 4 points in the early going, and a minute and a half has transpired. McHale guarded by Corzine. Toughest matchup in the league, maybe.
Dude, it's Kevin McHale. Like,
Corzine
really watch
does not
Kevin
have
McHale,
the
you
foot
guys.
Speed to stay with McHale, who gives power forwards, much quicker players, a lot of problems.
Last year he was the sixth man.
He's one of those guys. He's got 4 points already, and it's just like a blur the way he does it. He's just one of those rare cats.
Maxwell gone from the scene with the Clippers, and so
he's
McHale
a machine in the post. There you go, MJ.
Only 2 minutes elapsed.
Good feed.
Corzine.
Block, dude. Robert Parrish. I forget how good Robert Parrish was at this point.
That was an attempt to get Corzine involved.
Parrish guarded by Oakley, and a big size edge there.
Oh, he got him back. Corzine got him back.
With a fine play, just stuffed Parrish. And Chicago coming back.
MJ on the break.
Jordan with a move on.
Kevin McHale.
Yep,
and second line of defense.
Everyone is going to take a hand. Stan Albeck sees too, and trying to help Dennis Johnson guard Michael Jordan.
Yeah, how else are you going to guard MJ? They did it right. You got to have 3 lines of defense to stop him. And then
They get by. If Michael
you
Jordan
just
gets
hope.
by Dennis Johnson, the other Celtics are going to clog up the lane, it looks like.
What should Jordan do?
That's a
in
good
that
look.
case?
Look,
Yep.
either put it off the glass and hope
That
that
was
one
good
of his
positioning.
freer players can get an offensive rebound or make a direct pass to one of those free players.
Oh,
Bird, good position inside. Gets it out to Ainge. McHale again.
deep into
McHale on the basket.
McHale.
McHale has
McHale's
6,
3 for 3.
And Jordan has 6, and we're tied with those numbers.
Corzine, with all his beef, is still letting Kevin McHale get the sweet position down.
Everyone loves giving Scottie Pippen a lot of credit, and I'm all for it. Kevin McHale deserves more credit, guys.
close to the hoop.
And that's no diss on Bird.
Nearly 3 minutes gone
But
by,
he-
opening period, and we're tied.
He more than did his
Orlando
job.
Woolridge.
There you go,
Long range.
Woolridge.
Woolridge scored 37 points and had a tremendous game. In the one game, the Bulls beat the Celtics in the regular year.
They did it with fast break.
There it is. Kevin McHale finally misses.
Was at his best out in the open court.
But Robert Parrish is there to clean it up.
Did not use
All
that
right,
speed
MJ playing
advantage
point.
at all.
Parrish scored after McHale's miss. Celtics known for getting the ball down court in a hurry. In a lot of ways. Jordan
Oops.
short there. Inside Oakley fights his way.
Oakley, good
And
rebound.
finally drops in. May have been Corzine, and it was.
Oh, it was Corzine that got it.
And we'll have a foul against Chicago. Dave Corzine commits the foul.
Well, Corzine, an attempt right here as trying to take away position,
Yeah, it's
but
too
you
deep.
can't let
You can't-
Kevin McHale get
No,
that close to the
you
hoop.
can't let him catch the ball right under the rim.
McHale misses the shot. And here's Jordan over to Woolridge.
That's the equivalent of giving
Woolridge
like Kevin
averaged
Garnett that
29
kind of
against
position.
the Celtics this season. McHale the rebound out to Ainge. Chicago getting back defensively.
Corzine had a great inside
Ooh,
position
bad
on the
pass.
rebound, but didn't use it.
Ainge throws the ball into the third row. And Casey Jones, who has won 60 or more games 4 times.
Oh, it was deflected.
Both teams shooting well in the opening moments. 8:07 on the
By the way,
clock.
did you guys notice that like Bird didn't even care? He was like, all right, and he went back on defense, even though the ball was deflected out.
Chicago by 2.
Different
McHale
time.
finds Parrish
Ooh.
and Oakley fouls him. What can you do realistically, Tommy, when you have a 6'9" Oakley and a Corzine who's 6'11",
Yeah, against
but not
those
a big
two.
6'11", against the likes of McHale, Parrish, and later on Walt?
What they're trying to do, Stan Albeck,
Pray.
is put experience against Kevin McHale and Dave Corzine, knowing that the Celtics don't like to use Parrish. He's their second low post option, hoping that the Celtics won't use that against Oakley to take advantage of his inexperience.
Here's Parrish, who symbolized the size edge with a 14 rebound
Yeah,
average
you guys-
against the Bulls in the
Parrish's
6
free
games
throw.
during the regular year.
By the way, real quick, I picked this one especially because I saw this logo here, and I'm thinking that this might help the original video not get blocked. Like, so that was there from the original video, and that's kind of why I picked it over the other ones. I'm like, maybe he's onto something. All right, now back to action. Watch him and Bill Cartwright, probably the craziest 2 free throw styles I've ever seen. I hope we get this view.
I think that matchup,
Watch
Parrish
this.
against Oakley, is their saver matchup. Whenever they really have some
Watch this
problems,
crap.
they may go to that.
Wah. Okay, Bill Cartwright's worse.
We're tied at 10. Game has been tied 5
All right,
times.
what you got? What you got?
Corzine moving outside, Bird guarding him, if you want to call it that. Bird does not like to guard someone. The basket counts, and a good play and a slice move in there by Orlando Woolridge.
Interesting matchup stick by Casey Jones. Bird is guarding Corzine, and McHale takes Woolridge. Normally, you would expect Bird to take Woolridge, but Casey feels McHale, the bigger player, will be able to do a better job, take away the speed of Woolridge.
McHale with the personal foul. And
That is an
three-point
interesting
play
matchup,
by
isn't it? McHale on Woolridge.
Orlando Woolridge. And Chicago leads 13-10. Parrish up against Oakley.
Oh,
Out of bounds.
that's out on McHale, right?
Chicago ball.
McHale
Of course,
tapped
Larry
it.
Bird, as you pointed out many times in the past, is probably one of the best safety men. A good team defender, not perhaps individual defender. So the last thing Casey wants to do is to have Bird guard one of the firepower men for Chicago.
Yeah, but Bird's defense was done like weak side help a lot, and like intercepting passes into passing lanes.
It's too much of a burden for Bird, and it's a smart adjustment by Casey Jones, in my opinion.
Bird's a
Oakley
floater.
hits from outside. So 4 of the starting 5 have scored for the Chicago Bulls. So they have
Oh,
Spread the sugar around a little bit. Dennis Johnson misses. Gets his own rebound. And try to get it over to Larry Bird. And Oakley may be called for his second personal
Look
foul.
at young
What
Oak.
a year and a strong finish for the 9th pick, Charles Oakley.
He's going to be a bona fide star in this league if he isn't already. He's got some things to learn, like how to get that shot off in a low post, but boy, does he bang on the boards.
Actually drafted by Cleveland and then traded to Chicago in the deal involving Keith Lee, the rookie from Memphis State.
Ironically enough, Oakley made a whole career without really getting that scoring thing down. He did everything else so well.
Came from Virginia Union. A year later is playing at Boston Garden in the NBA playoffs.
Bird off the roll.
Celtics starting off not running as well, just like the other
Good
night.
pass, man. DJ wide open. Where were you, MJ?
Feasting on the Celtic bench. Maybe the key reasons why the Celtics have had such a great year, and good passing by Boston. And it's 15-12. Of course, the Bulls are getting back defensively. Stop that break.
When the Celtics put the pressure on the defense by pushing it up fast, that's when they're at their best, both for layups and low post play.
8 on the shot clock. Oakley hit 1. Fakes Parrish, goes in strong, and gets the basket.
You see the Bulls are trying to play inside out, but it's so well defended, they can't get the ball in there.
Charles Oakley at 6'9".
They tried 2 different angles
rebounder
there.
For the Bulls this year.
Stan Albeck's shot chart has to be complete by now.
The only man who hasn't scored in the starting group has been Kyle Macy. Ainge goes for 3 and nearly had it. Spun out. Rebound by Oakley.
That was a good look. They were playing off of
Chicago
for the
had a
post.
12-point lead in the first
All right, you got
half
Bird.
of the game
You
against
got
the
Bird.
Celtics Thursday.
Oh, it's this play. It's this play.
Take Bird, can't do
Got you.
it. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
You gotta hang on Jordan's shooting hand. Most players try to force him to his left and make him bring the ball to you.
That's a classic
Biggest lead
play.
of the game. 7 points for the Bulls. Under 6 minutes to go.
Oh, what a pass to Bird. McHale going up. Parrish, oh my God. Yeah, these big men are just killing them. The Celtics have a major size advantage.
When the Celtics bang on the boards and they're perfectly capable of getting those offensive rebounds, that's when they're doubly difficult.
Doubly difficult.
McHale out to guard Woolridge in the lane. Tough shot, tough defense by McHale. Bird the rebound, and the Celtics trailing by 5 with 5:25 remaining in the first period.
Good
Oakley
steal.
intercepts that pass.
That was a good look.
Bird and Johnson back defensively. Oakley goes in.
What are you doing, bro?
Offensive foul.
Oakley.
Bird, one of the great anticipators.
Where was your spot, man? Where was your spot, Oak?
25 remaining in the first
steal.
period, and Oakley intercepts
You're running
that
to break.
pass.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that ball, dude.
Bird and Johnson
You got to get rid of that ball. He went way too far.
Oakley
He
goes
was
in,
young.
and they're going to call
What are you going to do?
Bird, one of the great anticipators on defense, knew what Oakley was going to do there and got position.
A master of the half-inch got him
Giggity.
for the charge.
And 3 fouls on Oakley, and he'll come out of the
3
ball game.
fouls on Oak? Dang, man. Yeah, Bird played him.
The Houston
we
Rockets,
all knew he wasn't going all the way to the rim. He was going to pass it off at the last second. He just waited way too long.
let Sacramento get back in the game last night and ended up winning to take a 2-0 lead in that series. Robert Reed, 29 points. He's been starting in the backcourt. The Lakers, with another blowout over San Antonio, have a 2-0 lead. Magic Johnson with a superb game.
What do you have, 30? Is that 30? Yep. Looks like 30 points and 13 assists. Not bad, Magic.
Game.
Not
Atlanta,
bad.
2-0 over Detroit, winning for the
Funny,
second.
I was just in the comment section debating that Magic in today's game. It was on like a Magic Johnson video. I was arguing that he'd easily get 30 and 15 average if he was playing in 2025 with this kind of breakneck speed. And look, he was doing it. He was doing this anyways. So he might have been like 35 and 18.
Straight time on their home court. Dominique Wilkins, 50 points.
God.
But when was the last time you ever saw a 5'5" player?
Spud.
Talking about Spud Webb called for goaltending. And here's what happened in the waning seconds of the game. Spud Webb, the slam dunk champion, called for goaltending. And the Atlanta Hawks have a 2-0 lead and a pretty good all-around game for Spud Webb as well.
Dude, 18 assists, 19 points. What do you guys think?
See some good
Should I react to that dunk contest too? A buddy of mine was suggesting I do it.
It's a rebounding by the Celtics.
I think it'll be fun.
Gets free there.
I can't believe he missed a shot.
Is no good, but watch McHale come along that baseline and just outposition Corzine. And then they hang tough. Parrish, Oakley turned them loose.
Dude,
and the Celtics are smart enough that if you don't block them out,
the paint.
they'll keep coming on the glass.
Sidney Green has come into the ball game for the Chicago Bulls, replacing Charles Oakley, who's gone out with 3 personal fouls. Green was having a banner year and then went into a slump, has had tendonitis on the knee, and from what was the MVP of the Bulls at midseason, according to Allbeck, has been struggling lately.
So Corzine and Oakley already couldn't hold down the paint.
He'll be guarding
It's
Robert
gonna get worse
Parrish.
here.
Green plays him well.
All right, yeah, good defense.
Rebound. Green would not let Parrish go baseline. And now the Chicago Bulls with the ball on a 5-point lead.
Sid Green's got the speed and the...
By the way, that's what a hand check is. If you guys want to understand why people had to play with their back
Now
to the basket,
Bulls with
like look what's going on. You can't do this nowadays.
Ball on a 5-point lead.
So that's why everyone, they look like they're posting up even from the 3-point line. Like watch Magic Johnson, he did it all the time. Like there's a reason for it. You couldn't face up. If you faced up, they got you.
Green's got the speed.
They can push you in whatever direction they want.
To give Parrish problems.
And he can hit outside too if you need that. Kyle Macy looking inside.
Between the hand check and the forearm, the defense literally pushes you where they want, the direction they want you to go.
Scrappy as he is, comes down with it with 4.5 minutes
good
to
look,
play.
good look.
Larry Bird goes for a 3.
Oh.
Johnson is there. And Dennis Johnson.
Yeah, I don't think Bird scored yet.
Knocks it away, and it's Chicago ball.
He's been more of a facilitator.
Dennis Johnson can't believe he wasn't fouled on that play.
Gives some good looks, doesn't he?
Larry Bird, by the way, is 0 for 3 shooting and has not scored yet.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan has 8 points and is the game high scorer.
Man.
Going baseline.
God, to go baseline on this? Look how little room he has to work.
Michael Jordan has 8 points.
That's where he decides. That's insane. He's got such a short gap, and he's got 2 players to get by.
Game high score.
And a split second, and oh, man, he's close.
Going baseline.
Yeah, that was
Michael Jordan, the basket good and a foul.
That's wild, MJ.
Fantastic quickness going to the baseline.
They sure got and sent him to his left. Watch him come to his left. Dennis Johnson saying, you can have the baseline. They're hoping that Parrish will be able to get in there and at least intimidate him, but he didn't move quick enough.
Oh.
Bill Walton is making an early entrance.
Let's
Parrish,
go.
who committed the personal foul, goes out of the ball game. But here's Bill Walton, a very key acquisition for the Celtics at 33 years of age.
Happiest Celtic ever.
From the LA Clippers for Cedric Maxwell. Comes into the ball game with 4:15 now remaining in the first period.
You'll never meet a man who was more happy to be a Boston Celtic than Bill Walton, like ever, and to play with Larry Bird.
The Bulls. There's a much more solid lead today than
what
it
a
was
pass.
previous ball game.
Bird can convert on a good feed from Walton.
Yeah, keep an eye on Bill Walton's passes, you guys.
Passers in the game.
Oh yeah.
Good defender and rebound.
I agree with you, commentator.
Meanwhile, Chicago can open it up to a 10-point lead if they can score here. Corzine against
Come on, Corzine, what you got?
Inside. McHale on the rebound as Green fails on the tip-in.
Celtics defense is giving up an awful lot of easy shots to the Bulls.
Birds
They're
do.
forced to play
He knows
more
it.
one-on-one defense, though, in this game than they were in the open.
They have a good advantage. Corzine being guarded by Bird in the low post.
Still Boston.
Good deflection.
Ball. They didn't score, but a good pass here with Walton the key.
Well, you're going to see him cut to the hoop. Little push by Bird, loses his man, wide open.
That was a cool play.
Shot.
That was like a fake
handoff. Shot off.
Celtics turn it over again, and they're ragged right now in the opening moments. 3:31 to go in the first period. The Washington Bullets have an early lead over the Philadelphia 76ers, who are playing again without Moses Malone. We'll keep you posted on that game. Jordan goes up, ball slapped away, but Jordan winds up with it and draws the foul.
Playing Michael Jordan one-on-one is, for a guy like Dennis Johnson, who's a great defensive player, it's very difficult because Jordan's got the speed advantage, the quick step, and he can go right, left, or over you. And Dennis Johnson that time tried to force him to his left just a little bit too much room for him to get to the hoop.
Walton committed
I love
the foul.
that. He's basically faster, and he can go left, right, or jump over you. Yeah, you can't play him one-on-one.
His first, and here's Michael Jordan, Rookie of the Year last year, and led his team in virtually every category, including rebound.
Jeez.
And a 10-point lead for the Chicago Bulls.
Come on, big man.
The crowd getting
You can't let your freaking lead scorer out-rebound you, too.
They're not used to the Celtics trailing.
There's no pace to the game for the Celtics. The Bulls have got them in dance tempo.
Ooh, good defense.
Knocked
Is that
away.
Woolridge?
Jordan to Woolridge. Ainge is back. Woolridge goes up.
All right, good play, good play.
The only thing Danny Ainge could
I'm seeing some good defense by Orlando here.
A two-shot foul. The Celtics with the turnovers. Unlikely for that team against Chicago. Foul was on Ainge, and Orlando Woolridge will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Well, that was off a steal. By getting him out on the wing, they have a speed advantage there for a fast break basketball. Bird, he's guarding Bird, and by the time McHale gets up to get him, he could be well up the court if they push the ball up the floor of the Bulls.
Woolridge in his 5th year. Scored 25 points in the first game, but didn't get underway much early.
I know one boxed
now
out.
He has 6 points. 1 out of 2 for Woolridge. It's 25-14. The Bulls by 11. Under 3 minutes to play in the opening period.
Oh, crap. Got you.
Johnson is open.
That's one of those problems here. Hold on. Let me see if I can
1
spot
out
it.
of 2 for Woolridge. It's 25.
All right, MJ on DJ.
14. The Bulls by 11. Under 3 minutes.
MJ gets distracted here because that's the only problem with playing, playing the weak side a lot of times is if you
To play in the
like,
opening.
oh, that was like a little screen there too. So MJ knew it was coming,
Period.
but he couldn't recover in time.
Johnson is open.
I'm actually a little disappointed he didn't put a hand up there. He was kind of recovered.
Johnson.
But anyways, that's one of the risks of trying to play the passing lanes like Bird and MJ did a lot. Kobe did a lot of that too. Sometimes it bites in the
Celtics
ass.
have to hit some of those outside shots to open up the inside game for McHale and Walton and Bird.
Bird has not scored yet.
I can't believe Bird hasn't scored yet.
Woolridge outside hits. 8 points now for Orlando
All right,
Woolridge.
Woolridge.
First time this year he shot under 50% in his career. Open again is Dennis Johnson. Jordan picks him up.
Oh,
Knocked away by Jordan. They're going to call the foul as Dennis Johnson hits the parquet as hard as you could want. And a timeout is called. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the opening period. The foul is on Sidney Green.
I forgot the Bulls had such a controlling lead in this first quarter. This is wild.
First thing the Celtics want to do is not let Michael Jordan get a direct line of penetration down the lane.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't. I mean, okay, we all know he's going to blow by, but then you got 1, 2, and then 3. So first line, second line, third line, and final line of defense. Like, dude, there's nothing else you can do against MJ.
They want to try and angle him off the hoop a little bit so that he doesn't have a decent shot to the basket. These two men are going to try and cut down on that penetration, even on the angle up. But you see what happens here. Jordan is so good. A little move, and
to the
quickly
left.
he gets by Dennis Johnson. There's Bird stepping in. He loses the ball, but the rest of them are able to pick it up off the floor. So you have to go out and stop him and still worry about the big guys picking the ball off the ground.
That was actually smart. It didn't work out, but that was smart by MJ. He's tried to bypass the whole second line of defense and go straight to the third.
One of the best scoring performances against the Celtics occurred in game
Look
1
at
of the
this.
series. Boston won, however, 123-104, and keep in mind that the 104 points they allowed was exactly what their season's defensive average was. So they were not at all disturbed over that. They'll take it again. On the line is Dennis Johnson.
The Celtics have not played the pace game that they normally do. Push it at you, push it at you. It's important to the Celtics big men.
Why?
Because if they can get up the court, the double teams do not develop that quick.
Why haven't they?
They're not pacing the ball up the floor.
other
They're
words,
walking
it's
it
just-
up or three-quarter speeding it up. They got to really make a concerted effort to push it hard at the defense.
Shooting so far in this game, Chicago 55%.
By the way,
One time they
how
beat
refreshing is this commentating? They're literally just breaking down the game, talking strategies and stuff.
the Celtics. They shot over 50%. It was the only time they did against Boston.
Get up there.
Going inside is Sidney Green.
Come on,
That's the kind
Sidney,
of
that was a good
shot
look.
he has to take,
Yeah.
even though that went off. And Walton gets the rebound.
Not just
2 minutes
take.
to go in the first
That's a
period.
shot you got to
Sidney
make.
Green had a game here earlier in the year where he dominated the low post against the Celtics.
Under 2 minutes, 9 on the
Bird's
shot
still
clock. They
scoreless.
go into McHale, guarded by Corzine.
Damn, Kevin McHale in the post.
16th leading scorer in the league and the 5th best shooter in the NBA. And he hit 10 of 11 against the Bulls in game 1.
You know, we praise Hakeem Olajuwon rightfully so, a lot for his footwork in the post. Kevin McHale was, damn, he was great with his footwork in the post, too. Kevin Garnett eventually learned it, too.
Woolridge against McHale, gets a piece of it.
Blocked.
Quickly back to McHale. Jordan picks up
McHale, you can't run a break.
Away from him. That was a pickpocket move if there ever was one. And Jordan goes up, and the blocking foul against the Celtics. And the crowd won't agree.
Well, McHale has no business putting it on the floor against a quick player like Michael Jordan.
Oh,
a big guy
agreed.
dribbling, it's too high, easy for a smaller man to pick it off. And up he comes. Anytime he gets a chance to bring it up and get it into the painted area, it's going to cause problems for the Celtics.
We talked about Walton. Here's the other key man, Jerry Seasting. With Johnson coming out of the ball game, Seasting has given the Celtics that reliable outside shot. 57% shooter from the field. Jerry Seasting,
57%.
formerly of the Indiana Pacers. There is Gene Banks.
So now they got
the
both Ainge and him. Okay, so they're switching strategies.
Game.
They're going for the long ball.
Defensive stopper, and he just may be guarding Larry Bird, 6'8", former San Antonio Spur. In fact, there are 4 former Spurs on the Chicago Bulls.
Gene Banks has really got his hands full, but he's got the intelligence to try and take that half-inch advantage that Bird counts on.
Bird in the post. Just pop it, Bird. There you go. Oh, what the hell?
Walton is there for the easy basket. The ball was there for someone to grab, and it was Bill Walton, who has 2 fouls and 2 points so far.
Bird is really struggling so far.
I wouldn't be surprised if George Gervin comes in before long. Macy has not scored yet.
Oh, wide open look.
Corzine in and out. Walton the rebound.
That was another one of those cases. Walton was all over the place guarding everyone but his guy. But it paid off because, yeah, Corzine did not put that down.
They're going to call the foul, and Banks and Bird look at each other, and it looks like Banks was hit.
22nd timeout.
Someone got hit in the face.
Banging going on there. Corzine shot, but watch
Bird.
Now swing. Banks.
Uh-oh.
And a little more swinging. Shall we dance?
No dance. We'll have a timeout. Larry Bird, who hit Gene Banks in the head, is called for his first personal foul.
By the way, no flagrant. No one's getting fined. No one's getting kicked out. It's just a hit in the face. It's all good.
Celtics have been over the limit.
No worries.
And that's what Larry Bird has done. 0 for 5 from the field at this point.
0 for.
Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn here at Boston Garden. We'll be hearing from Pat O'Brien later at the half. This is game 2 of our best of 5, first round. The NBA playoffs in the first weekend, and the Chicago Bulls lead the Boston Celtics 29-21 with 57 seconds to go in the first period. Keep in mind, the Bulls, playing, I guess, a different kind of game, also had a lead of 12 points early against the Celtics before they turned it on in game 1.
But the fact that they're all involved, Dick, is going to make them a lot more confident basketball team. This lead is a substantial lead as compared to the previous ball game where it was produced primarily by Jordan's good play.
They're looking at Larry Bird's right hand.
Oh, he heard it while
and on the line is Gene
hitting
Banks.
him in the face.
Banks, along with Corzine, John Paxson.
Well, you know, I whacked him in the
George
face
Gervin,
pretty hard. That Banks guy.
San Antonio Spurs.
My hand's little.
If it's
Knowing Bird, he's gonna start hitting shots now because he's an 0 for at this point. Now he's hurt. This is just the way, like this is just the way these dudes were.
Right index finger on Bird. That's going to really affect him. He had that broken finger and it's caused him lots of shooting problems.
Mike Smrek,
Shrek.
a rookie from Canisius in Buffalo, New
Where's
York.
Donkey?
Comes into the ball game. He's a 7-footer. Banks misses 2 free throws, and Corzine goes out of the ball game. He scored 2 points.
And he had lots of good shooting opportunities that didn't pay off.
Scott Wedman comes in for Larry Bird, guarded by Banks. Seasting off a screen.
McHale in the post.
Out of McHale. Over 6'3".
Damn, man.
Kevin McHale has 10 points.
He does.
He's the leading scorer for the Celtics.
This is the unit that Casey
they can't
Jones
do anything with
counts
Kevin
on
McHale.
to either produce a lead
can't guard him.
or create tempo.
This is the green team. And they didn't really have defined roles when the Celtics had their problems around Christmas.
They sure did.
Uh-oh.
That was the Christmas massacre.
Good luck.
But
Good luck.
the troops are back.
Jordan from the corner, and now the Celtics playing for the last shot, trailing by 8 points, 31-23.
Wow, this went by fast.
People look back at the key and turnaround of the Celtics season. It would be that time of year when the bench gelled. And that'll be a Chicago foul and will put them in the penalty. And the
On
Celtics
MJ
will go
there?
shoot 2. Larry Bird being tended to now by Ray Melchiori.
I don't know what finger it is, Dick, but you know, he broke that index finger playing softball his senior year in college, and it's troublesome enough for him to shoot. It's amazing to me that he shoots so well from the outside with that finger. It looks like a crooked road with a detour.
Sidney Green with his second foul. As long as that crooked road leads to the NBA Finals, that's all Larry Bird's concerned with. By the way, Bird finally did rid himself of those back and elbow problems this year. He started out shooting well under 45% and then got hot in the latter stages of the year. McHale's free throws, 31-25, 6 seconds to go. Banks has Walton on his back. Macy
Good look,
shot
good look.
at the
Oh,
buzzer
what a
is good.
shot.
The basket
What a
counts,
play.
and the Chicago Bulls, who lost 52 games this year, have taken a 33-25 lead. And Larry Bird has yet to score a point in Game 2 of this best-of-5 series.
I can't believe Bird's gone scoreless. Oh, they do this every quarter?
Chicago has an 8-point lead as we start the second period, but this was a key play as far as Larry Bird and the Celtics go.
Well, that's the penalty you pay Larry Bird as a team defender. Good pick, and Bird tries to fight his way through, and doing that hurts his hand, and you could see already he's looking at that right hand, and it ended up his last 2 fingers. Now he gets a little angry and goes at Banks, which I don't think was quite fair because Banks was really played good offense that time. Now you see, well, it's that the last 2 fingers.
Smaller tape. I think Ray Melchiori put smaller tape on those last 2 fingers.
But look at that index finger. He's got a bump on that index finger. Looks like Mount Everest.
So Bird's been scoreless up until this point, which was shocking in itself. He's played pretty passive. My prediction was after he gets this finger bandaged up, he's gonna get pissed off and he's gonna wake up a little bit. We'll see. Like I said, I have not seen this game in ages. I've seen the highlights 1,000 times, but I haven't seen the actual game since I can't remember the last time.
Bird was 0 for 5 shooting in the first period.
Yeah, 0 for
and
5.
Did not score. Keep in mind that Bird was the only player in the NBA this year to finish in the top 10 in 5 of the 8 categories. And heading perhaps for his 3rd consecutive MVP award. Meanwhile, we start the second period and the Bulls lead by 8.
You know, on that injury, Bird really, as a team defender, backed in, and Banks smartly picked him off so Corzine could get the shot off.
Yeah.
Scores Jordan for Chicago and McHale for Boston.
I don't really see a problem with what Corzine did there.
And Tom Heinsohn here at Boston Garden. Coming around a screen. Rick Carlisle in the game stays with Jordan. Misses. And here's
short.
Walton.
That was short.
Gets it into the hands of the right man, Seasting. So Carlisle's in the game. Rick Carlisle out of Virginia.
What the hell?
Good perimeter shooter and a very smart player, although not fast.
Hell of a coach, though.
To Wedman.
Here we go again.
Walton, I should say, and a foul called against Mike Smrek. The Celtics do not have much speed in there right now.
Well, this is the fastest unit they have, Dick, to tell you the truth. Wedman at that forward spot has got more foot speed than Bird, who's about to re-enter the ball game.
I mean, they're slow right now, but that's where they'd be getting all the points in the post.
This team to be a fast break unit. Bird's going to be in there replacing McHale, so that now is a pretty fast unit.
All right, let's see if Bird lights him up now.
For the Celtics.
An angry Bird. Angry Bird.
Bird.
Uh-oh, double team, good trap.
Team.
Oh, man, good read.
Walton is fouled. That is a good foul. Michael Jordan commits the foul. One of the things the Bulls wanted to do
good
was
foul,
to take
but
that
really
foul
good pass.
When it looked as if the Celtics were going to get an easy 2, and there's an example.
I think MJ's got 2 fouls,
when you
though.
double team Bird, you better cut off the guys cutting to the basket, and it was much too late developing.
Mike Smrek, the 7-foot rookie, goes out of the game, and Orlando Woolridge, who scored 8 points in the first period, comes back in.
Dude, MJ has not sat down yet.
Woolridge.
Coming off the minutes restriction he was just on right before the playoffs here.
This unit in for the Bulls now.
This is wild.
Sidney Green being the center.
Come on, Bill. What you got?
At the wing. Maybe they'll turn him loose.
That is a loose as hell rim.
Yes. Much. And they'll be playing against the fastest that the Celtics have to offer, and the Bulls still have a tremendous speed
Poor
advantage.
knees. It's Bill Walton's poor knees, man.
I love fast basketball players and fast style of play. You get easy hoops.
But you got to practice it, and it has to be a way of life for a team.
That's what Stan Albeck said, Dick. They just weren't together long enough to get it down. They started off fast breaking, but weren't able to continue.
Oh, wow.
Woodard's shot misses.
Damn, Bill.
And Stan Albeck was looking for interference and a goaltend call against Walton.
Yeah, man, I think MJ was just helping him up there.
The Celtics have the ball. We have a minute gone by in the second period, and it's a 6-point Chicago lead at 33-27. Walton guarded by Green. Green gives ground.
Oh, he's taking it.
Walton take the shot. Sidney Green the rebound.
Yeah, they're sagging off of
Out
it.
to Gene Banks.
That was a good shot.
Walton, if you're going to kill us from out there,
We
be
can
my
live with
guest.
it. Yeah, we can live with it.
Whitman is on Banks. Banks goes up. Walton
Damn,
another
man,
rebound.
look at Walton.
Has 7 rebounds coming off
What
the bench
a
today.
7 rebounds. What a monster
Carlisle
off the bench.
guarded by Jordan. Bird guarded 1-on-1.
I mean, we're talking 7 rebounds in 1 quarter, basically.
Wedman
Ooh.
hits from outside.
Good look.
Scott Wedman, who is a starter when Kevin McHale was out of action with his Achilles injury, had an 11-3 record as a starter with the Celtics.
That was great rotation defense that time by the Bulls with Michael Jordan, and yet Wedman, the quick shooter, still got an easy shot off.
Kyle Macy and Seasting hooked in. George Gervin gets off the bench. He'll come in for the first time.
George Gervin.
Green working against Walton goes in. Walton with another rebound, his 8th, and here's a 3-on-1 break for Boston. But traveling.
Oh, they
called
called, guys, this is what it was like. Let's see where the travel's at.
Another rebound, his 8th.
Okay, catch. He doesn't even have the ball.
And here's a 3.
He never even had possession of the ball. The ball was up in the air.
Against Walton goes in.
Hold on.
Walton with another rebound, his 8th, and here's a 3-on-1 break.
They call that a travel. Wow, dude, it was unreal back then. You couldn't do anything without getting that travel called.
Boston, but traveling call against Rick Carlisle. You don't often see that from the men in white and green. Sidney Green and George Gervin will be coming into the ball game for the Chicago Bulls, who still lead, but now it's 4.
Now, how old was
Take
George
a look at the
Gervin at
Western
this point?
Conference first round, also best of 5. The Lakers lead 2-0. So does Houston. Dallas and Denver have 1-0 lead in their respective series. Utah plays Dallas tonight, and a couple of key performers. Mark Aguirre with back spasms is questionable for the Dallas Mavericks. Adrian Dantley will not play for the 2nd straight time for the Utah Jazz.
Well, I think Dantley is as important to his ball club as Aguirre is to his, so that might cancel each other out.
Fair enough.
But if either one of them is able to play, it's going to give his team a tremendous advantage.
And we saw in the first quarter that Magic in the Lakers game had 30 points and 15 assists, if I remember correctly.
Right in the middle there is number 8, George Gervin, who will be 34 years of age
34.
a week from today. 14th year, but his first with Chicago. Played, of course, at San Antonio. The 7th all-time leading scorer with over 26,500 points. All-time playoff scoring average is right behind Jerry West. So George Gervin, who's really had to make a traumatic adjustment going from San Antonio to Chicago, coming off the bench here.
Playing a lot less minutes, but he's always been great in the low post, and he's going to have a young player against him, Rick Carlisle.
And they're going to isolate right now. The Chicago Bulls spreading out their offense, making the Celtics play individual defense, not the team variety. They get it into Gene Banks.
Nice take, nice take.
That is the best of Gene Banks, under control.
We're going to look for more isolation plays, I think, here from the Bulls. Right now, Michael Jordan is on the bench, and we have an illegal defense call against Chicago.
They had 3 guys pass that imaginary line down the middle of the foul lane. It took them a while to call an illegal defense. Bird saw it.
9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Walton, baseline, loose ball, scrap, and the foul against Chicago.
Yeah, it's getting scrappy now.
Dennis Johnson reports back in the game for the Celtics. And Rick Carlisle sits down.
If the Bulls can get George Gervin going and get those ice fingers going, I mean, he turns to white heat when he's really firing away.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great. That way Jordan could get some more rest, too, for sure.
47%, the lowest of his career this season.
What was it?
Really firing away.
Shot 47%, the lowest of his career this season.
That's not bad.
Because of less minutes.
Walton banks it. Bird gets an easy 2. Larry Bird with his first points of the game.
I know,
and it comes
finally.
with 9 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Chicago Bulls cling to that 4-point lead. They had it up to 11. The only lead Boston had was the first points of the game.
Without Jordan in the game, they've got to find a guy they can give the ball to and count on him to get him a couple of points.
Gervin going in.
I mean, I'd be looking at George Gervin and Woolrich right now.
Inside. Sidney Green with his first basket.
He is really great at crashing the board if you don't block him out on a penetration move.
Bird over Woolrich.
Okay.
Maybe getting hot now.
Yep. Bird's mad.
He got a layup.
He's an angry Bird now.
And now
Lead
the
down to
outside
4.
shot, and it's a 4-point, 37-33 affair. John Paxson getting off the bench for the Chicago Bulls.
Guys, you just have to sustain it for a little while.
Perhaps.
So MJ can get a little bit of rest.
Finally,
there you go. That's how you do it.
7 seconds on the shot.
That's how we do it.
Banks with his second basket, and it's up to 6 once more.
They certainly were looking to get it to Gervin that time, to the point where Bird fell off and gave Banks the shot.
Oh, Bird with 2
That was a
straight.
heat check.
Misses that shot. Banks has the rebound. Forcing the action. The Bulls running a lot more than they had. They didn't run at all, really.
Look at the paint. Like, look at the lane constantly.
Macy controlling, guarded by Ceaston.
It's a gauntlet to get to the rim.
And there's Sidney Green on the weak side. Jordan remains on the bench, shaking his head, and the Chicago Bulls have raised their lead to 8 with Jordan sitting.
I'll tell you, Walton retreated to stop any kind of penetration. Forgot about Sidney Green. You can't do that with Sidney Green. He'll kill you on the glass. Once Sidney Green comes swooping in, Walton has got him, forgets where he is, going for the rebound himself, and there's Green, a great leaper right behind him.
Yeah, good throwdown, man.
More than an elbow of leaping ability above Walton.
John Paxson comes in the backcourt, and Robert Parrish is back for the Celtics. Parrish over the top commits the loose ball foul. Orlando Woolrich, who committed that last personal, was fouled by Parrish. Second foul on Parrish. So right now Chicago has John Paxson, almost a carbon copy of Kyle Macy, perhaps a little stronger and quicker.
And in case you guys forgot, Kevin McHale was torching him in the first quarter.
Backcourt, Corzine is in with Banks, Woolrich, and Gervin. Jordan still on the bench. Woolrich. Gervin tries to keep it.
There you go,
alive.
Iceman.
Into the hands of Dennis Johnson.
Good
and
foul.
a Chicago foul, and there's another good foul for Chicago.
No, that was a great foul.
That was a 3-on-1 break.
That was a 3-on-1.
John Paxson against some big guys that were going to swoop in. I'm amazed that Sidney Green came out of that ball game right now, because he was giving them that second effort that was producing some solid points.
Yeah, he was.
2 shots for Dennis Johnson. The foul was on Banks.
We've been talking about getting Sidney Green back in, his head back into the game and feeling good about himself. And boy, made 2 great moves and back on the bench.
Keep in mind,
That's
he
true.
has tendonitis of the knee.
That is the
may be a
psychology
factor in this thing. And so they got some good moments from Green. We'll see when he comes back. That's the other side.
But the leaping ability that time didn't look like he was thinking about his tendonitis.
Didn't look like he was thinking about anything but winning this game.
That's right.
Yeah, see, they found some common ground there.
To go in the first half, 41-34 in favor of Chicago.
All right, what we got?
Gervin.
Oh.
Woolrich inside. Tried to draw the foul. He couldn't. Bird bodied him well. McHale comes down with the ball into the hands of Dennis Johnson. He tries to draw the foul. Parrish sees Dennis Johnson open.
Yep, second chance shots, man.
Doesn't go that way.
That's a killer, guys. But what are they supposed to do against these giants?
Roll, decides to go
Bird. There you go. You're finally awake, huh?
Just let him swoop through there, the Bull.
All you had to do was punch someone in the face and bust your finger.
5-point Chicago
You're ready to roll.
with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half, and a 20-second timeout called by Chicago.
A little fake pick and roll. That creates a little problem, but watch. They allow Bird to just swoop in. They never cut off his penetration. Corzine trying to maintain contact with McHale. Didn't get there quick enough.
All right, lead down to 5.
6:20 to go in the first half, and the Chicago Bulls, who have led all the way except for the first points of the ball game. Speaking about,
by the way, good times. Back then, the music was all in Oregon, and that was like pretty much every sport, right?
This game at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, the Washington Bullets are tied with the 76ers at 35. They're in the second period, and Washington leads 1-0 in that series. Michael Jordan has been on the bench the last 4 minutes, and the Bulls have been none the worse for wear.
They've produced some other offense.
Yeah, it's important. He can't beat him by himself, so
work Gervin a little bit.
These guys got to get into a rhythm.
Gervin against Parrish and the Boston foul.
Oh, man.
Their second team foul. Jordan has played only 2 minutes this period. He scored all his 17 points in the opening 12.
Yeah, the rotation kind of surprised me because normally you take him out like at about 10 minutes into the first quarter, let him sit until what? Well, I said that wrong. To take him out with like 2 minutes left in the first quarter, put him back in with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. But they waited. They waited a long time.
And he is getting a lot of rest, but as long as the Bulls are playing the way they're playing, they can give Jordan some of that rest. Parrish commits his third personal foul. Walton played considerably and performed well off the bench.
All right, guys, what are we doing? There's no movement.
To isolate Gervin on one side, but Woolridge didn't get to it.
No.
Woolridge has his shot blocked. Banks picks it up. Whirling dervish to Corzine.
Okay.
And
they made something out of nothing.
Hits from the corner. By the way, Woolridge has missed his last 6-7 shots now in the game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like Woolridge, but that was a garbage ISO play.
He may not be the guy to go to.
He's taken some god-awful shots, Dick. The penetration, he should be kicking it out to guys like Corzine who can hit that outside shot. Use him as a decoy.
McHale over Corzine. Short. Parrish keeps him alive for Boston. Bird tries to fake Gervin. Seasting. Baseline.
Good.
That's why
Good
they acquired
pass,
him
good
from
shot.
Indiana. Jerry Seasting, and it's 43-38 Chicago, and Michael Jordan will be coming back in the game in a moment.
Yeah, we need some offense, MJ.
Paxson controlling with 13 on the shot clock. Banks.
That's all right. That was a good look.
Parrish.
Bird was nowhere to be seen on Banks.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's there
Off
now.
the wing, the basket good, and a foul. And Walton comes back for the Celtics, and Michael Jordan checks in for the Chicago Bulls.
Push the ball up the court. Good things happen. Nice outlet pass. It gets up reasonably, and Seasting loves to fast break. Back to Dennis in the middle.
Oh. I mean, you want to know why this happens? Hold up. It's really important, guys, when you're running back on a fast break and the ball is right behind you, don't have your back to the basket. I mean, I'm sorry, don't have your back to the ball. You got to see the action here.
Break back to
Look at that. He didn't even know what was happening.
Dennis in the middle, and before the defense even alert, the Celtic used the fourth man up the court, no defender there.
Jordan comes in replacing George
Corzine.
Gervin, who I don't believe even attempted a shot in the time he was in there. Foul was on Corzine. The three-point play with 5 minutes to go cuts the Bulls lead to 2.
If anybody knows like the status of George Gervin at this point when he was coming off the bench with the Bulls, like, was there no way to have him coexist with Jordan on that starting lineup, or was it really that his production level had just sunk? Because I feel like he's not that old at this point.
That's a terrible thing. A guy like George Gervin, with all the playoff experience and the great offensive ability, not to get a shot off while he's in there. He's a weapon.
Bird guarding Banks. Rainbow shot. Misses. Paxson, safety man, intercepts. Into Banks. Good spin move, but Walton blocks it. And Walton's, or they said Banks.
Yeah, the Celtics are just absolutely killing them with their size.
Walton playing a major role
when it comes to the rebounding, just the defense, they're just destroying these guys.
The bench. And Sidney Green, who played 11 minutes, coming back in the ball game for Chicago.
All right, yeah,
the crowd is up because the Celtics can tie it here. And they do. No. Foul before the shot.
No continuation.
Gene Banks is really having his problems offensively and defensively. I think he's talking to himself and making this game much more difficult than it has to be. Taking some bad shots. Last time he had Walton in the low post. Whenever he thinks that's a mismatch in his favor, he got to go back to the scoring back to the playbook, because there's no way he should be taking Bill Walton to the hoop in the low post.
I 100% agree.
100% agree. Points, and Larry Bird can tie the game.
Yeah, man, Bird really came alive
early on before Chicago moved out in front and led by as many as 11.
Somebody must have just told him, yo, you haven't scored in the first quarter. What's wrong with you, Bird? All right, tie ball game.
Chicago led 33-25 after one hurry.
Yep, there goes that lead.
Bird is on green. Ball knocked away. It's still Chicago.
Bird forced to guard Sidney Green. That might be a good matchup for the Bulls to go to. Let Green get in the low post.
Hell, right now we got to get the ball back in MJ's hands. There you go. He's been back in for like a minute. There you go. There you go. You just needed some points on the board.
25 to 43. 19 for Michael Jordan. That's his first points in the second period.
That's what the Celtics do so well. They pick on people. The Bulls are not picking on people here in the first half.
They don't have that many weapons, although if they go with a quick team, that may be their answer. Seasley misses. Woolridge the rebound. Chicago does have a quickness edge on the Celtics generally down the roster.
And Jordan's adding something. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Jordan, with his weak side help, kind of floating around on defense, is actually disrupting the Celtics offense big time here.
Used it that effectively. Other than quick steps like this.
It's exhausting.
Jordan going in, baseline.
Whoopsie.
Defended by Walton. Out of bounds. Celtics
Damn,
ball.
yeah,
Jordan shows a little frustration.
You should be a little mad about that one. Hit the side of the glass there. Get him back. Get him back, MJ.
Dennis Johnson over Jordan. Sidney Green the rebound. 3:15 to go.
Nice pass.
Jordan inside to Woodard.
Oh, good look.
Good and a foul.
All right, that's big.
Like the Celtic playbook.
Yep.
When he gets in the paint, remember, try
Get
and
Bill in
angle
foul
him
trouble.
off.
Let's go.
He gets everybody looking because their concern is him, and he is.
Yeah, look, you got 3 defenders on him right here. 1, 2, 3, all closing in on him. So yeah, there's got to be somebody open. I'm surprised he's not more open.
Come alert himself as a decoy for somebody to slip behind the defenders who have lost their attention, and Woolridge smart that time to get open.
Interestingly enough, Walton with the foul, his third, so the 2 Celtic centers, Parrish and Walton, each are burdened with 3 personal fouls right now, and Parrish on the bench. 48 to 43 in favor of Chicago, winding down to 3 minutes to go in the half.
By the way, I think I saw Orlando Woolridge is 4 for 14.
Return, and Jerry Seasley
field
goes out for the Celtics. And we'll have a timeout ourselves with just 1 second, less than 3 minutes to go in the half.
All right, MJ back in. We got a lead again.
Celtics inbounding, and Larry Bird. What's the story with Bird today? How are the Bulls playing?
Bird said that his prime function, he thought, was to really develop the inside game for the others and not to look for a shot. But the Bulls are also getting out there and challenging him on his outside shot.
McHale draws the foul.
Damn.
And looks like he hit his head.
He landed on the back of his head? It looks like it.
McHale scored all his 12 points in the first period. He has none this quarter.
And keep in mind, you guys, this is the 80s, so no one's like flopping around or faking injuries. Like, so whenever something does happen, you take it serious.
Larry Bird has all of his 11 this period.
Let's see what happens here. He gets sandwiched. And
he gets whacked on top of the head.
What happened? It looked like he got a little whiplash or an elbow in the forehead.
I think he got an elbow on top of his head, man.
Dave Corzine commits his 3rd foul. Oakley and Corzine
shake it off.
3.
Can't see straight.
Trying to get the cobwebs out.
Hit the one in the middle.
You're watching the second game of a best-of-5 first-round NBA playoff at Boston Garden. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn here on CBS. The Boston Celtics with the best record in the league and a 41-1 record.
You probably can't even see straight right now.
Trailing right now 40.
Come on, shake it off, man. Shake it off, Mikhail.
2:56 to go in the first half. Foul Story.
Aim for the basket in the middle.
Parrish and Walton, the 2 Celtics
like
centers.
Mick always says.
Oakley, Corzine also.
Those of you who get my reference, y'all are real ones.
That was a nice little elbow he got there.
That's a nice one, huh?
Chicago had scored 5 in a row to break a 43-all tie before the free throw. 13 on the shot clock. Jordan.
3.
Inside.
Okay. I don't know how this play ends, but watch.
13 on the shot
2's
clock.
not enough.
Jordan.
We got 3. You got 3 out of 5 defenders on you. What the hell? Man. You got 1. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a risky pass. I would assume you go out here, and we got a clear direction here with you coming up. But this is a young Michael Jordan.
Inside to Woolridge, spins around.
Okay.
Basket counts and a foul.
I stand
Great move
corrected.
by Orlando Woolridge, and keep in mind he's had a knee
I gotta
problem.
be honest, I didn't see Woolridge in the picture at all. I didn't see him.
And a sprained
Good luck,
wrist,
MJ.
But he showed no
Good finish,
effect to the
Woolridge.
game.
They played a little 2-on-2 basketball, and that freed up Woolridge. He was Dennis Johnson ended up on him originally. McHale has been trying to guard him, but when you do stuff like that, the Celtics switch a lot. You got to look for the advantage on a mismatch.
Yeah,
they finally got
switched
to it.
from that triple on Jordan to just surrounding Woolridge within a split second.
Foul was on
This
McHale,
defense
his
is no
second.
joke.
It's 50-44, 2.5 minutes to play in the opening half. Chicago leading, and they've led
Bird.
practically
Take
all
it.
the way in this first half. Bird banks it, tips out, tipped in the air.
Get back, get back, get
Down
back.
to E. Walton. McHale in the
All right, we can live with that.
Haynes.
Dude, come on, guys. I know they're bigger than you.
Traps his way.
Get a rebound.
And a new
Take it,
block.
take it, Bird.
Bird inside to McHale and the basket. Celtic passing at its very best, and it's a 4-point Chicago lead. 2 minutes to go in the
In
half.
case you guys haven't noticed, I obviously know how this game ends, so I'm just kind of like, I'm just cheering on my favorite players at this point.
You know, the guard's patience of the Celtics to find that good matchup is what really
But
makes
you got
the team
MJ,
click.
you got ISO.
Jordan controlling
You got
against
ISO.
Dennis Johnson, and they isolate him.
That's not the best look.
Misses it all. Save though. Green. Jordan.
Okay, there you go.
The rebound by Walton.
I mean, it didn't work out, but I like to see you guys crashing the boards.
On that sequence.
Not a fan of Jordan's shot there.
Tries that extra pass. Whistle. No basket, and a 3-second violation called
Damn, again.
against Boston. And even Stan Albeck's enjoying this first half.
Danny Ainge makes one great steal here, goes up high.
Dude.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
a
Danny
great
Ainge did
athletic
get up there.
skill there to take it away from a bigger man.
4-point lead for Chicago. Sidney Green is up on high, setting a screen.
There we go.
Johnson
There we go.
trying to fight through it on a switch. Bird guards Jordan.
That's wild.
And Jordan hits the jumper anyway.
That's wild.
Michael Jordan, 21 points. And it's 52-46 Bulls.
That's just a ridiculous looking jump shot.
Looking inside
Like, how did he
McHale,
do it?
nothing doing.
Oh, yeah, DJ
14
wide
to
open.
9. Dennis Johnson misses a 3.
What a board.
Walton though. Jordan with under a minute to go, and the ball bouncing into the hands of the Bulls. Corzine inside to Paxson.
Nice play.
Paxson gets the basket, and now the Chicago Bulls have opened it up 54-46.
Damn.
And they have been the strong team down the stretch in this quarter.
They played good push-up basketball that time. Some of the Celtics big people.
Yeah, for those of you who are just joining, the Bulls barely made it to the playoffs. Jordan was injured the entire year with a broken foot or a broken ankle. Came back with just a couple of games left. Was on minute restriction heading into the playoffs. Like he was only playing, I think it was 15 minutes a game, something like that. And yeah, they're going against one of the greatest teams of all time, the Boston Celtics, right here. And the fact that they're winning right now, they're in the lead, is wild.
back.
They've controlled the lead the majority of the game
Draws the foul.
so far.
Stan Albeck made comments after game one that he got less of a break from the officials and that the Celtics were able to use mayhem, to say the least, inside. Of course, Casey Jones said, well, if they're playing a physical game, what do you expect? They should commit most of the fouls. In any event, Corzine has number 4.
Well, I used to be a coach. I used to use rhetoric like that, too. It's like a coach's book.
Yeah, this also shows Jordan's doing his job. But this is backcourt scoring. Where they're getting killed is in the paint, the big men.
Coach, I used to use rhetoric like that, too. It's like a coach's book for coming into the Boston Garden.
Garden.
On how to get the officials on your side. Not just the Boston Garden, but
I
anytime
give you a quarter.
you're on the road.
Doesn't seem to
Give me
help
some
much
water
here,
at the
looking at
Garden.
the record of the Celtics this year. You can see the blood on the jersey of Kevin McHale from that cut left eye. Hits the free throws. Banks is in the ball game with
6-point
38
lead.
seconds to go. Chicago leading by 6. And they'll call the foul on Ainge.
Wow.
Second foul, but that will put the Celtics into the penalty.
I'm
And so
actually,
John Paxson
I'm shocked at
will
that call.
shoot 2.
That was kind of a chicken foul.
That was a chicken foul.
It looked more like Paxson fell down and Ainge fouled him.
Paxson, of course, comes from a great bloodline of basketball people. Of course, he must have played against his dad.
I certainly did. A great player.
With the Lakers and the Royals, and his brother, of course, Jim, is with the Portland Trailblazers.
They want this man here to shoot more. They want him to get that outside shot going. They feel he can push it up the floor better than even Kyle Mason.
Dude,
34 seconds to go.
Mustache Paxson.
8-point lead for Chicago. Their biggest lead was 11. Ainge taking it all the way. Bird
Dude, can we get a rebound, Bulls? Look at this play.
For Chicago, their biggest lead was 11.
First
Ainge
look,
taking it all the way.
second look, third look.
Bird tipping. Walton tips it in. And Bill Walton with 6 points in the ball game.
Come on.
And 13 rebounds. Has been the key center, not Parrish so far.
Bill Walton, wait, say it again?
Ball game and 13 rebounds.
Wait, what?
And Bill Walton with 6 points in the ball game and 13 rebounds.
13 rebounds in the first half off the bench. You guys, Bill Walton was a monster.
Has been the
So
key
is Kevin
center, not
McHale.
Parrish so far for the Celtics.
Oh, man. All right,
Celtics
ISO, what are we going to
used
do?
some great stuff on the offensive boards on those fast breaks. That penetration by Danny Ainge.
We got to end on a high here, MJ.
He produced the 2-point.
10 seconds. 8
6 on the
seconds,
shot
time to
clock,
move.
So there's a 3-second differential. Jordan with a
That's
fake
a
shot and draws
That's
the
a
foul.
wild shot. Did he get hit?
Second differential.
I can't tell in that blurry mess.
Jordan with a
I don't know.
fake shot and draws the foul.
I don't know. I'm trying
Dennis
to call
Johnson
it real, but I
beside
don't know.
himself.
I can't say.
With frustration after that, did not agree with it. That's his first personal foul.
When Michael Jordan beats you going to the right, you have to lean across him and bring your hand down, and that's when an official will normally call the foul.
Mike Tebow, who is one of the assistant coaches with Chicago, said about Jordan, he's got the jump shot ability of a Jerry West and the ability to go to the hoop of a Julius Erving.
Yep.
Pretty good people to be compared with.
I call him Mercury.
And I just think this is the weakest you'll see Jordan's jump shot in his entire
Foul
career.
with 3 seconds to go, and now it's
It only
Michael
got
Jordan,
better. Oh, that's 3 then, right?
who is
By the way,
complaining.
Yep, Tex was already here. Tex was already here. And then, yeah, the next guy that was the head coach was Doug Collins, and he had a lot of problems with Tex. That's where Phil Jackson came in. This man, brilliant basketball
There is
mind.
Mike Tebow kneeling down.
Tim
Actually,
Tebow's
Tebow is not
dad?
on the bench. He must be upstairs sending in plays from the top. The
The
foul.
helicopter, huh?
Sidney
From the
Green gets
helicopter.
called with his third personal foul. Corzine has 4. Oakley and Green 3 for Chicago. Parrish and Walton each with 3 for Boston.
Parrish and Walton each with 3 fouls.
Bulls
Okay.
have played as well as they can play, and the Celtics really haven't gotten their game together whatsoever, and the Celtics are still in it.
Celtics are rarely out of it this early. I guess, though, in the one loss they experienced to Portland here, they were out of it early. That's the route.
Right.
1 out of 2, 2 seconds to go, and then that shot will not count if it goes.
Look at the old days. You'll hear the sound of the buzzer before the shot clock or the clock says 0.
2 seconds to go, and then that.
Oh no, I'm
shot
tripping.
will
That was just so blurry. I couldn't tell that was a 0.
Not count if it goes.
All right.
Larry Bird had 12 all this period, but Michael Jordan has 23 points. And the
fitting.
Chicago Bulls, who need a win here, and that would make headlines in any event. Any team beating the Celtics at Boston Garden lead 58-51
51.
at halftime.
All right. And without further ado, let's get right back into it.
Celtics lead 1-0 in games, but the Bulls lead here 58-51 at Boston Garden, where the Celtics lost only 1 time this year. Tommy, is that 58-51 Chicago lead deceiving in any way?
It could very well be, Dick. The Celtics shot very poorly, and the Bulls' defense against the low post game, the various double teamings that they did, confused the Celtics, and I think they might get that straightened away at halftime. They're used to it. I think they might have taken the Bulls a little lightly in this first half. I think the Bulls should be up by at least 20.
I had the same sentiment, yeah.
To look at some of the key statistics of the first half, Michael Jordan owned the backcourt.
Yep. So you see, Jordan's doing his job as far as the perimeter wise. but the big guys are getting dominated. So that's where the difference is being made here.
The Celtics combined had only 8. Rare for the Chicago Bulls to turn it over only one time in a half. But that's what they did. But when it came to the offensive rebounding, Boston owned that aspect of the game. And
that's where they're getting killed, you guys.
But when it came to the
I'm glad to see the stat, because that's absolutely where they're getting crushed. Second chance points, offensive rebounds, the big dudes.
Offensive rebounding, Boston owned that aspect of the game.
All right, let's get back into it.
The Bulls 33-18.
Thanks for watching with me all.
The Celtics shoot 38% in a half, and that's what they did. Yet they trailed by only 7, underway third period. Kyle Macy in the backcourt along with Michael Jordan, who has the ball now.
Ooh, Parrish on him.
Starts it forward with Oakley and Woolridge.
They call travel.
Very unusual lineup that the Bulls have out there. Who is playing center? Oakley, Woolridge. They got a small front line in there.
No Corzine?
Very fast. Maybe they're going to run.
I guess so.
Only lead in the game was 2.
That's a risky move, man, because they were already getting dominated by the size. So they're playing a small ball lineup.
2-0 to start.
Oakley at center.
Inside of McHale. McHale starts things in the second half.
Yeah, McHale
has 19 points, and it's a 5-point lead.
McHale played great in the first quarter.
Oakley hardly played in that first half. As a matter of fact, just 7 minutes and scored 4 points.
That's because he had 3 fouls in the first quarter.
The key man again, perhaps off the bench, as Woolridge misses. He's taking some wild shots.
Yeah, but Woolridge is not playing great.
Time.
Looking inside, McHale against Oakley and company. Misses that shot.
Can't believe he missed it.
Underneath the hoop. Had to bring it out. Lost it out of bounds.
Ooh, another turnover. That's 8 turnovers now. Look at the rebound count. Look at this, 18-35. Man, I knew I was watching, like when I was watching it, like this is just, they're getting killed on the rebounds.
Celtics
but
with a tremendous domination off the glass.
They're doubling them. They're getting 2 for 1. 2-1.
Woolridge with 13 points. He has the ball along with Jordan's 23.
It doesn't look like they're running. It looks like they're playing some sluggish iso ball
on
here.
That one-on-one game, I think they ought to.
What are we gonna do?
Park that for a while and find somebody else.
Banks working against Bird on the post-up.
Good pass out.
Team, and Woolridge misses again. There's Michael Jordan.
There's Michael Jordan.
Basket will be good and a foul, and 25 for Michael Jordan.
It shouldn't be his job to get these rebounds, but here he is.
You know, this lineup that they have in there,
I don't get it.
I got to ask him after the game why it's in there, because there's no real size and
no real strength.
There's Oakley's pretty strong, but there's no inside game or board banging going on.
You mean Sidney Green?
Sidney Green, I think. He's got 3 fouls. Maybe they're trying to save him, but
so does Oakley.
McHale can have a field day against this unit.
Yes.
Minute and a half.
And that's what I'm worried about. Kevin McHale right now. I think Woolridge is on him.
Gone by in the third period, 61-53, an 8-point lead. Bird inside the
there's Bird.
Line, hits for 2.
Bird busted
Larry
his.
Bird has 14 points. They've been not a lot.
Bird went scoreless in the first quarter. He busted his fingers, got taped up, and then he's been lights out ever since.
To get that shot off, haven't they?
They've been in his
Go
jersey
figure,
with
right?
him. They've taken his defender out of the normal team defense.
Ainge is on Macy, who has attempted only 1 shot in the ball game. Woolridge working against McHale goes in, and a good
Nice
move
take.
by Orlando.
Nice take,
Woolridge,
Orlando.
15 in the game.
I guess they're going to give it to him until he gets it right.
6 for 18 is the shooting for Woolridge. 33%. Ainge for 3.
Ooh, good rebound.
Rebound by the O.
There you go.
Stan Albeck does not
Time to wake
have
up,
a lot
Woolridge.
of respect for Kevin McHale's defense.
Ooh.
Jordan goes up, no basket and a foul.
And see, this is why I just wanted to show you guys again. I'll show you one last time.
Stan Albeck
Why
does
Jordan
not
hasn't been
have
going
a lot of-
to the basket too much yet. Because you got first line of defense, no problem. But it's second line, and then eventually the third line of defense. That's going to get ridiculous as they start trapping all over him.
respect for
Like
Kevin
this.
McHale's defense.
He had to split. He had to go up against 3 guys there, basically, just to get the shot off.
No basket and a foul.
Quite the contrast to 2025,
Dennis
guys.
Johnson with his 3rd personal foul and a timeout here with 9:38 to go in the 3rd.
So far, as long as they've had Jordan in the lineup, they've had a lead.
So Michael Jordan with 49 in game 1, 26 right now, and Tommy asked some of the Celtic guards their observations on how to play Michael Jordan.
Foul him and hope someone else can come in and do the job.
You know, if the team can't stop him, maybe he'll shoot himself to death.
I don't know. I guess you give a call to Clint Eastwood because there's not much you can do at that point.
Just let him go.
They all tried.
That's wild to see from his opponents, and they're all just like, "Yeah, we can't guard him." These guys gotta hope he misses.
Thursday, including this man, Dennis Johnson. But when the second half came to play, Dennis Johnson with a tremendous effort. He had 7 baskets in a row in the third period and 26, and he did a better job against Jordan. By the way, Celtic guards are shooting 3 for 13.
Wow.
Chicago with it with Jordan with 9.5. Long range.
Oh,
Jordan
what
hit.
a shot.
And a 10-point lead for the Chicago Bulls.
Damn.
Keep in mind their biggest lead in the first half was 11.
11?
And they're close to that now. Crowd getting a bit anxious again, Tom.
Boy, and Gene Banks is doing a well of a job of trying to stay with Larry Bird.
Not an easy task. Oakley comes out.
There it
to meet him,
is.
and Bird hits.
Yeah, Bird is fully
now
activated.
hitting 2 outside shots in the first 3 minutes of this third period.
Casey Jones counts on Larry Bird to bring him out of the doldrums.
Yeah.
He's done it. Remember that Philadelphia game here when he did it to the tune of 3 3-point plays in the final moments of the first half.
Hey, to be fair, in the first quarter, Bird contributed to this discrepancy in points as he put up 0 points in the first quarter. So it is kind of his obligation to bring his team back in.
Jordan
He's the
working
leader.
against Dennis Johnson. McHale getting ready to help out. He does, but Banks is there with a feed, and Parrish commits the foul.
there you
and
go.
that'll be his 4th personal foul. 4 on 0-0.
Larry
That's
Bird
big.
forgot
In comes Bill Walton.
Gene Banks and let him sneak in there. Bird, the ultimate team defender for the Celtics, had his total concentration on Jordan that time.
Tell you the truth, Big Bill's been playing way better than Robert Parrish so far anyways. I think he's got something stupid like, I don't know, like 12 or 13 rebounds off the bench in one half.
Advantage of the great depth
I don't even
the
think I'm
Celtics
exaggerating.
have. Bill Walton, Parrish goes out. He has scored 6 points and is
4
Burden
fouls.
with 4 fouls, but Bill Walton has 6 points and 13 rebounds in the game, and he has been the big center force for the Celtics today. Dick Stockton and Tom
Off the
Heizman here at
bench.
Boston Garden.
One
Capacity
half.
crowd, 262nd consecutive. First weekend of the NBA playoffs here on CBS, and the Celtics trailing the Chicago Bulls by 10, 67-57. A big shocker if the Bulls can hold the lead. Boston lost only once here all year.
Wow.
Leading.
Did you guys hear that? Boston's only lost 1 game at home all season.
1-0 in the best of 5. Walton puts up the short
Yeah,
shot.
Bill Walton making his presence.
Confusion factor.
Presence felt right off the bat.
Stan Olbeck hoped to introduce into his defense in the low post. Sometimes double team, sometimes not. Send the double from different directions. It's working.
Oakley and Woolridge can't be guarding
Jordan again handling the ball with 11
Bill
on the
Walton.
shot clock.
MJ, what you got? What
Dueling
you got?
with Dennis Johnson.
Good luck, good luck.
Walton loses the rebound to Woolridge and fouls him.
All right, all right. Woolridge finally coming alive in a third, guys.
The 2 determined men going for 1 ball, and Bill Walton commits his 4th foul. So both
That's big. That's a good strategy. Get all their big men in foul trouble. Kevin McHale, too.
Celtic centers, Walton and Parrish, have 4 fouls.
As Walton spreading out. But the quicker player, Woolridge, is able to step inside. Normally, Walton plays against the bigger, slower guys that don't have the ability to use their quick feet to step inside. You saw what Sidney Green was able to do to him in the first half.
But the foul story now becomes focused on the 2 Celtic centers who have 4 fouls. If one or both get into foul trouble, that could be a major factor down the stretch.
Indeed.
Should be, but they're smart enough to use those fouls. I'm not too concerned if I were Casey Jones at this point. 4 fouls.
Don't forget you have that man, Greg Kite, in his 3rd year, who's quite a banger, who has seen some quality minutes this year. Nearly 4 minutes going by, 3rd period, and a whistle and a foul away from the ball. Called against Chicago, and a derisive cheer from the crowd, who would think that the Bulls have had the edge in calls so far. Charles Oakley, that's his 4th personal foul.
Damn.
4 on Oakley, the rookie from Virginia Union.
Everyone's in foul trouble in this
Double
slugfest.
team on McHale. Open as Johnson penetrates and scores.
Damn. How did that happen? Oops. Where's DJ?
Union.
1. Is it you? Nope, you're on Bird. MJ with the weak side help.
Double team on Mc.
Yep. And no one had you. No one had your back. But yeah, you did a full commit there.
Kale, open as Johnson, penetrates.
He got back though. Jesus, he's fast. Yeah, I would say that was initiated by the weak side help from MJ.
Now that time they doubled, and they forgot to get to Dennis Johnson quick enough. The rotation of the defense of the Bulls wasn't there.
Yep, I agree. Because I want to blame MJ, but at the same time, the defense was kind of responsible for covering the gap when he's committed to a double team there.
8-point lead for Chicago. They led by 7 at the half.
Either way, I'll just say bad defense.
Remaining
Bulls.
in the third. Double on Jordan.
Oh, good.
Inside, and Banks lost the ball. Got hit in the eye, but lost the ball. Celtics pushing it up, and Ainge goes in. And the foul will be against Chicago. Ainge may be the spark that the Celtics haven't had to get their fast break going so far.
Yeah, he's a tough dude.
Push man, because
Danny
he has
Ainge.
the desire to really attack the defense. Dennis Johnson, when he gets the ball on the outlet, really kind of 3/4 it up the court. Danny Ainge has got more speed to apply to the fast break than DJ does.
Ainge with his first point of the ball game.
I'd argue DJ plays better defense, though.
Coming in
not that Danny Ainge is not good at it.
Free throw shooter. Misses one of them, though. Foul,
He's
by
definitely
the way,
a better shooter, though.
His first.
Ainge from
Macy with the ball,
long
guarded
range.
by Ainge.
Long range Danny Ainge literally was his nickname.
Dennis Johnson is sticking with Jordan effectively. Jordans can't seem to get away, losing the ball momentarily. And losing it for good is Oakland.
They had Jordan coming off a pick, too. Or a screen. Damn!
And a 20-second timeout called by Chicago. Listen to the crowd as the Celtics have come back, still trailing by 5. This is the exciting time of the year in the NBA, and the playoffs continue next weekend. We'll be on the air Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time, and then a doubleheader on Sunday, beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern. Of course, we don't know what matchups you'll see. It could be at the tail end, Game 5s of the first-round matchups, or the beginning of the conference semifinals, whatever it is.
Also, those of you who forgot, or younger folk out there watching, first round of the playoffs back then was a 5-game series, so 1st to 3 and you're out.
You'll see some exciting action next weekend on CBS. Philadelphia leading a tight battle over Washington, 64-61 in the Spectrum. The Bullets lead 1-0 in the best of 5 of that series.
Philadelphia needs Moses Malone. They've lost their power guy inside.
Crowd is turned up a notch.
Oh yeah, the Garden's alive. That's not good for the Bulls.
See how Chicago responds. Woodard.
No call.
Banks.
There you go, Banks. Good offensive board.
Quiets them for the moment at least.
Oh, what a smart play by Gene Banks. Got right in there as they went to the penetration, got the good position on the offensive board.
Celtics spreading out their offense, making Chicago play more one-on-one defense, not the team variety. Ainge with a move on Mason.
Ooh, good defense.
And the foul on the
damn.
pass. So one-shot foul.
I don't know about that
watch
one.
Banks here on the glass you talked about.
There's Larry Bird going to the penetration, and look
yeah.
at Banks
Good
coming
no call.
right in there, steps inside with nobody really blocking him out.
Yep. That's what happens when you don't box
Boston
out.
With 6:27 remaining in the third. Celtics have won 32 in a row at home, but the point is, in the best
32 in a row at home? What the hell?
all-time home record in the history of the league at 40-1.
Is that still the best all-time record, you guys? Is this Boston Celtic team that team?
Every home team has won so far in the playoffs, with the exception of the first game when the Bullets shocked Philadelphia with that 18-0 spurt at the end.
Well, the further you go into the playoffs, the home court advantage isn't as great because the teams are closer together in talent, and they're closer together in mental toughness and battling against the home crowd.
No, one thing, and that is the Houston Rockets with a 2-0 lead over Sacramento have to play that Tuesday night game in the Arco Dome where the Kings were unbeaten this year. See if that jinx continues.
Very impressed with the Bulls in this quarter. They've used a lot of good, solid offense.
Yeah.
Bird from Walton.
Bird got good position there.
Strange lineup, huh?
Would he come off the screen? All right,
Very
here he
impressed
is.
with Bulls in this quarter. They've used
No, man, he
lot
just
of good, solid offense.
Bird from Walton.
He's just
Even
quick.
with that strange lineup, huh?
He's smart.
Well, that's great. I got to ask him after the game why he came out. I never would have thought of this lineup.
Folks, if you want to know what Tommy's doing after the game, he'll be asking Stan Albeck
Yeah.
about his lineup.
They don't have a true center in there.
Woolridge working against McHale.
Oh, not.
Basket is good.
Dude, Woolridge really came alive in the third.
Woolridge gets the hoop. And Woolridge now with 19 points.
Maybe he heard me talking trash.
I think that Stan Albeck really feels that there's not enough good one-on-one defenders on the Celtics. Here's the move by Woolridge against McHale. He feels McHale can't guard Woolridge. That's why he's attacking him. I would never believed it myself. I think McHale's a very good defensive player.
Another point here. The Celtics shot 38% in the first half. They're 7 for 9 so far in the third period, and yet the Bulls have added a point to their lead. And a whistle before the shot. Illegal defense against Chicago, and that's a technical foul. The second time an illegal defensive call is made, it's a technical.
Yeah.
So Danny Ainge has been shooting. Interestingly enough, Larry Bird was the free throw shooting champion this year.
I forgot about that aspect too, because it covers the entire game. So I think they got called the first time in the second quarter for this, but if you get called twice in a game, technical foul.
But Ainge has been shooting the tees lately.
Shooting the
I've not
tees.
seen any tempo in this game in the third quarter whatsoever. This has been a chess match with Boris taking 2 minutes to think about his next move. That's how long the game is developing as far as I'm concerned. No pace whatsoever.
Dennis Johnson with the ball.
Boris with the ball.
Yeah, 5:40 to go. Bird.
Oh, Bird. Good position.
Larry Bird with a left-handed move with 20 points now in the ball game.
He's so good
Keep
at
in
that.
mind, he did not score until there were over 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Can you guys list another player that was more ambidextrous than Larry Bird?
Didn't double him that time.
Meaning you can use both hands.
Banks to the middle. Made him take a tough shot.
He's 4 for 4.
Good look, good look.
Macy hits it, and the foul on Ainge. And I'm sure Casey Jones is saying, here's a guy that's taken one shot in the game. Why foul him all the way out there?
Right.
Well, that's a shot.
That was a good.
And
Once again, Orlando Woolridge. Well done.
I think
He created all that.
A long-distance shot like that, Kyle Macy, if he hits it, all of a sudden it changes your thinking on the way you're going to drop into the paint to help. You got to go out there and try and shut him down a little bit.
Ainge with 3. Well, they got burned to a 3-point. Fare thee well, and it's 77-69. Once again, Chicago by 8 with 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
Oh, good play.
So Bird.
Foul against Chicago. You're right.
Isn't that 5 on Woolridge?
Chicago can do it with Woolridge and or Jordan. The Celtics can do it with Larry Bird.
And nobody
Oh, no, that was
got
Oakley.
to
My bad.
the rotation to stop that cutter quite quick enough. Almost got a hoop out of it.
2 fouls now on Orlando Woolridge, and Johnson
Just 2.
shooting 2 shots.
I'd argue that was a good foul.
Bird is responding to the defense that
Bird
the
and
Bulls
DJ had
are
him
playing against him. One time he doesn't get doubled, he makes the swooping move into the lane. This time he gets doubled, he sets up 2 easy free throws.
Is that taking what the defense gives you?
Well, he's a guy that, as I said in the beginning, takes advantage of every half inch. Imagine if you give him a yard.
Giggity.
6-point game, Chicago leading. Biggest lead was 11 in the first half. They had a 10-point lead here in this period. Jordan, first half, they had a 10-point lead here.
That's not me, guys.
Jordan with a juke and a move, and Dennis Johnson.
Oh, man.
Boy, that was some defensive play by Dennis
I didn't like that shot.
Celtics can cut it to 4.
I didn't like it the first
Knocked
time.
away, Chicago ball.
That was a terrible call.
Guys,
Terrible
it's just so wild to see how different Jordan was in his early years. I mean, this is only his second year, if you could even call it that, because he was injured the whole year. But how different he was at reading the defenses back then. He got so much better every year.
Oh, the man was on his arm. Should have been a foul.
All right, what are we doing? You're
Jordan
going to use your athleticism
up
now.
on top, a 1-4 offensive alignment for the Bulls. Macy working Ainge. Banks. Woolridge.
Good look. Short.
Swung it nicely, but Woolridge missed it all.
The hell was that?
And the Celtics once again with a chance to cut it to 4.
Oh,
Bird.
got you. Wow, Larry.
He lost his footing, but yet made the layup.
I thought it was about to fall.
By Stan Albeck. It's a 4-point Chicago
What
lead.
a recovery by Bird. All right, MJ's been ice cold in the third.
The Celtics have outscored Chicago 14-8 to cut a 10-point lead to 4.
Which is wild. That's why it's so fun to watch these games. Because when you just watch the highlights, it doesn't look like it was possible that Jordan was having even a bad, couple of minutes, like 6 minutes of bad basketball. Because he put up 63 freaking points. But then you can just tell what's coming. What's coming in the next video, guys, in the fourth quarter overtime video.
And Danny Ainge,
he's going to have to explode.
You have to force your way to act of willpower to create tempo sometimes when you get caught in a rhythm. And there's Danny Ainge. He was challenged, and he'll have none of it. He's going to take it as hard at the defense as he can. And now they're in a good attack position. And then allow Bird, even with that stumbling move, to come in and make a layup. That's what pace can do for
Looking at the replay, I don't even know if he did slip.
22 in the ball game.
Maybe that was intentional because
Jordan and
it worked.
Woodard have 48.
Come on, MJ.
77 points.
There you go.
Jordan.
Ooh, that was off his foot.
And the Bulls still have it. 3-point shot missed by Macy.
That one was not necessary.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the third period. Keep in mind that the Bulls had a 7-point lead in the way they were playing. Tommy's opinion anyway.
Watch out for
had a bigger lead. The Celtics getting an extra life. Dennis Johnson is fouled decisively.
Okay, now I'm getting pissed off at the Bulls here. Because there's obviously,
lead in the way they were playing.
This is multiple times now. There's obviously a rule. Bird gets the ball in the post, we come in and we double. But how many times is DJ going to break away without the weak side help coming to help? Like, how many times have we seen this now?
Tommy's opinion.
Like, come on. We know what's happening here. You three, all three of you just compacted in this area. No one kicking back. That's some terrible defense, guys.
Should have had a bigger lead.
And did you get the foul too?
Like Dennis Johnson is fouled decisively there.
Damn.
On the give and go. On the pass from Bird.
Well, that time
there's no tougher guard in the league than Dennis Johnson.
Double-teamed Bird, and they isolated Bird down there. Everybody on the weak side of the Celtics is away from the ball, but they did move quickly, but not quick enough.
Yep. I'm disappointed in that weak side help.
McHale, who has 19, but only 2 in this third period.
Because
that was a legit trap.
Low post game. Casey Jones says Larry Bird shall lead us out of the darkness.
Larry Bird shall lead us out of the darkness.
And so far, he's been doing a pretty good job.
Bill Walton has been the Celtics center, played more time than Robert Parrish, although both have 4 personal fouls, with 3:42 remaining in this third period.
The Bulls now have to continue to play intelligent basketball like they did the first couple of minutes of this game. They slowed the tempo down. Don't take bad shots. Move it around.
And the Bullets have regained the lead over Philadelphia, 79-75. The Celtics
good one.
Scored 6 in a row. And Dennis Johnson hacks Michael Jordan, and that'll be number 4 on DJ. 4 fouls on Dennis Johnson. Welcome to the club. Parrish and Walton, charter members right now.
Let's see this.
And Dennis is playing him straight up nose, and that means...
Ooh. Oh, I mean, he slapped his hand, but... that's a tough call. In 86, that... Oh, no, he did smack his arm. It's a fair call, but it's a tough call in 86.
Means that he's... Jordan, with that great first step...
You did whack his shooting arm.
Dennis, because Dennis doesn't have the same kind of foot movement and foot speed.
Jordan is 8 for 8 from the line.
Oof.
Going for his 30th point of the game here.
This is the time of the ball game that you go to Michael Jordan, I think. He's strong. They didn't overuse him in the first half. These are the crunch points.
And we have not seen Sidney Green this half.
Nope.
I agree, because at this point, it's almost time for Jordan to sit down and get his final breather.
Gotta be a reason why. 3:25 remaining in the third period.
I'm going to ask Stan after the game again.
It's 2 questions. Oakley is on Walton.
Oakley should not be on
there
Walton.
with the offensive rebound. Leading Wedman, short shot. And Oakley the rebound. Wedman had a shot he normally makes.
They really gave up on Corzine, huh? They're done with Corzine.
Against
All right.
79-75.
You're crazy.
Boston.
That's a 1-on-4.
Open is Macy.
Good pass. Good
And
shot.
Macy hits. 7 points for Kyle Macy. And the Bulls, who had their lead cut to 2, now up to 6 again.
When he has time to sight the basket, which the penetration of Jordan gives him, he'll make that shot, Kyle Macy.
Yeah, and that's what I want to see more of. And obviously, we saw way more of this as Jordan continued to develop. But take it to the basket, earn that triple, quadruple team, hit the open shooters.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the
Same thing
third.
I've been hoping that Ant-Man figures out sooner rather than later.
Period.
Take
Always
advantage
been a
of those
big
double
period for the
teams.
Boston Celtics.
There's a weakness exploited.
Knocked away. Celtics possession. Let's bring you up to date again on the foul situation. Corzine and Oakley with 4. Parrish, Walton, and Dennis Johnson with 4.
Oh, so that's part of it. Corzine has 4 fouls, but so does Oak. Now what do you do, Coach? Everyone is in foul trouble here.
And before the Celtics can inbound, Jerry Seasting will come back in the ball game, replacing Dennis Johnson.
That's going to put Danny Ainge on Jordan.
And a drive by Ainge.
Okay.
And Jordan on Danny Ainge.
And Ainge chalks one up there. And they're down to 4 points now. The first field goal.
All right,
of the
Danny,
game
what
for
you got?
Ainge might even do a better job than DJ because he's used to playing point guard, shifty guys.
Did the other night
would
with his
disagree.
switch. Jordan. This is tipped up. Tipped up again. Oakley fighting.
My guess is, I mean, DJ was guarding Jordan like glue. Like he wasn't giving Jordan an inch to breathe. So the problem was Jordan wasn't able to catch the ball often because he wasn't able to break free. Danny Ainge, I think it's going to go a little different. I think Jordan's going to excel with Danny Ainge on him. Once again, no disrespect to Danny Ainge. It's just basketball.
To the Celtics, who can cut it to 2.
Oh.
Ainge.
Good play, Danny Ainge.
Is fouled.
Fun fact, Jordan and Danny Ainge still play golf together.
And
Danny Ainge
will
plays
go to
golf
the
with
line,
Steph Curry,
90%
too.
from the free throw line to try to bring the Celtics to within 2 points. John Paxson comes into the ball game.
Porn stash Paxson.
And Kyle Macy goes out. Macy with 4 fouls.
Danny Ainge, you know, is a very big guy to play point guards. He's got exceptional quickness for his size and has learned to contain a real good fast man between his knees.
Yeah, they shifted him to more of a shooting guard later on in his career.
Play straight on defense, and that's just the type of guy that might do a great job on Michael Jordan.
All right, you seem pretty adamant about it. Maybe you're right. Let's find out.
In the third period.
Oopsie.
Ainge with the interception. And it almost went in.
Yeah, Danny Ainge, he's giving the energy.
So Danny Ainge is clearly the spark plug for the Boston Celtics here in the third period.
Yeah, he is. He did it for my Suns, too, in '93 as well.
Great defensive play and getting the crowd into the game.
Came off the bench and brought a lot of energy.
What a move.
I got a lot of respect for Ainge.
Danny, you know, when you play a Michael Jordan and he knows he's got get that first step on you, boy, that gives him a world of confidence. Danny Ainge right now
tie game.
is saying to him, you can't do it.
And we're tied at 81. 6 in a row run off by the Celtics. And they have erased a 10-point lead here in the third period that the Bulls enjoyed early on.
Ooh.
Inside to
Oh,
Jordan.
man, that's so much traffic.
And it's Oakley who gets credit for the
That was a
basket.
wild play.
Charles Oakley.
What even happened?
Enjoyed early
All right, hold on. Good cut, good pass. I mean, that's a good spot for you, MJ, but oh man, not anymore. You got 3 bodies right on you. Okay. The ball goes up. I don't even know how. I don't even know what happens there. Like how'd the ball get there? Where did the ball get released? In this blurry I can't tell you guys.
Inside to Jordan.
He just chucked it up, huh?
It's Oakley who gets credit for the basket. Charles Oakley.
All right, Oak. What?
And a technical foul.
Danny Ainge?
Has been leveled by Jake O'Donnell.
Some things never change. He got a little too hot there.
I think that was an unnecessary technical foul by Jake O'Donnell. It was called from one end of the court. Danny Ainge made a gesture. And Jake O'Donnell was completely up the other end of the court. He made it. He's looking good for it.
Nice.
Jordan, 31 points. And the Celtics trail by 3 with
guys. So we're almost headed to the first quarter, or the fourth quarter. Jordan's got 31. Did I hear?
Points. Jordan, 31 points.
He's got 32 more to go.
And the Celtics trail by 3 with 1:35 to go.
Earmuffs, children. Earmuffs.
Ainge. Trying to fake Jordan. Good
Oh,
step
man.
on
Danny Ainge is feeling it.
And the basket. Great first step by Danny Ainge, who keeps the pressure on for the Celtics. And it's 84-83 Chicago.
Yeah, we got ourselves a game
Taking
now.
the tempo away from the Celtics, trying to Michael Jordan.
Just take him,
right
MJ.
now.
Just take him. You're faster.
Points in this period for
Oh,
Ainge.
that shot.
What a great shot.
That is
And a
ridiculous.
Chicago.
See, one thing I notice about young Jordan is he's underestimating his speed. He doesn't need to do all this. He could actually just burst with his first step right past the first line of defense.
The Celtics
I feel the same way about Kyrie Irving sometimes, you guys.
10 points
when I
in
watch
this
him.
period for Ainge. And what a great shot, and a basket and a foul. You talk about birds, sheer determination.
Let me know if you guys can feel me on that one with Kyrie. Because sometimes I think, like, dude, you had him on the first dribble. You know what I mean? And it looked pretty after that, what you were doing, but you actually had him on the first dribble. You could have blown by.
Points of a game, Michael Jordan has those same qualities.
And I think Jordan went to a point later on by the 90s where he was more of a two dribble, and then he was in position. He knew exactly where to be. Back then, young Jordan, he didn't quite know yet.
He's got to watch him get around Jordan, Danny Ainge. And strong left-hand drive.
That's just a
And
good
Walt
shot,
right
man.
there.
That's a
and here comes
hard
Jordan,
shot.
But Ainge is in front of him, angles him off, turns him loose to the second defender of the Celtics, but Jordan overpowers him.
And Walton
That's
has
5.
committed his 5th
Yeah.
personal foul.
That was a big play by Jordan, mainly because that puts Walton's butt right back on the bench.
Bill Walton has 5. Parrish is on the bench with 4. Under a minute to go, and the Bulls
Okay, they're
lead by
leaving Walton
4.
out there.
Seasting.
I'm actually
To Wemby.
shocked.
Bird.
Offensive rebounds. There you go.
And Oakley powers his way
There you
for
go,
the
Oak.
rebound. And Larry Bird gets called for the foul.
He hit him in the face.
That's his 2nd personal foul, and Oakley will shoot.
Here comes the rebound. Oakley well inside, and Bird says, well, I'm going to try and knock it out of your hands from underneath. And he must have hit the ball into his
I think he
jaw,
did.
And Bird said,
all right, so he hit the ball. He hit the ball, but yeah, that hurts.
What a face, huh?
The face of a winner, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is.
Here's Charles Oakley, who's a
8 rebounds.
66% free throw shooter.
Get in there.
Kevin McHale, who has 19 points, only 2 this period. Bulls have made their last 14 free throws.
Damn,
Now make it 15
free throws in a
Walton
row.
on the bench with 5. Robert Parrish also on the bench. He has 4 fouls. Celtics playing without a center. McHale is playing center at this point. Inside against Oakley. And the foul against Chicago. A push.
A very late whistle. The shot was rebounded.
Yeah, I don't even know what the call was. It was so
Sidney
late.
Green has come into the ball game. First time he has played in the second half, replacing Charles Oakley.
Orlando, that makes it 3,
Woolridge
I
has
believe.
his 4th personal foul,
4th?
and Parrish with 4 comes back in, replacing Scott.
Damn, man. Felt like just a minute ago he was at 2
So
fouls.
Sidney Green, who performed so well in the first half for Chicago, with 4 points and
Bang.
5 rebounds in brief play, in there for the first time this half.
They've got a bigger team in there right now, the Boston Celtics. See if they can capitalize on that bigness, that size.
You ought to be fresh.
Right, because Chicago is not capitalizing on quickness and speed with fast breaks.
Bird is 24. Woolridge powers his way in, blocked by McHale.
Yeah,
out of
who's the
bounds.
old man commentator? That sounds a lot like Red. Obviously it's not, but Who is that? Because he's bringing up a lot of good points. Because we're playing a small ball lineup with the Bulls. Why are we not running more on offense? You know, they're holding their own the best they can on defense, but the advantage, the whole point of going small ball is so we can beat them on the breaks on the offensive end. But I don't see them running at all.
Chicago still has it. Kevin McHale with the block shot. He's had at least one block in the last 30 games for the Celtics.
Well, Woodard rolls back, and there's McHale right there with him.
Fourth block this game.
Fourth
Jordan
block this game. Nice shot.
Jumper good with 16 seconds to go, 91-85.
Ainge forced him left, forced him right into the second defender, but Jordan with that great leaping ability can go over the big guys too.
Playing for the last shot.
You guys feel me? He sounds a little bit like Red Auerbach.
7 seconds, Chicago has an opportunity, leading by 2. Paxson.
Oh, Pax, what you got?
Blocked by McHale.
Oh, not much.
And that'll do it.
Kevin McHale just manhandled him. Oh, no, Pax.
At the third period, the Bulls have taken the blows against the
Giggity.
great Celtic team and lead 91-88.
Seeing a young Rick Carlisle is
period, and will return
wild.
after this word from your local station.
That man has served the NBA.
Let's have a review of this ball game. Chicago, sparked by Michael Jordan's 17 first period points, took an 8-point bulge over the Celtics. Second time in the series they've had that lead. Larry Bird had 12 as Chicago's lead was cut to 7. Danny Ainge was the spark plug in the third period.
Yeah.
Bill Walton has done a great job off the glass the entire game as the Celtics have inched closer to 91-88. But to the Chicago Bulls' credit, no matter what happens, as you look at the shooting story the rest of the way, and the Celtics don't go away. Got hot so far in that third period that the Bulls have showed poise in withstanding several thrusts by the Celtics at this time.
Giggity. And that's been the story of the game so far, you guys.
And believe that philosophy.
The Bulls have had the lead, but the Celtics will not go away.
Defense. And he's spreading it out so that the Celtics are forced to play that type of defense.
Oh, good look by Bird.
Bird.
Yeah, too easy.
The first points to start things off. He has 26 in the ball game. Jordan with 36.
Did I just hear that?
To start things off, he has 26 in the ball game.
You know how crazy that is, guys? He went scoreless in the first quarter, and he's already caught back up to 26.
Jordan with 36 is the high scorer in the game. Jordan has scored 85 points in the 2 playoff games.
Not bad, MJ.
By Seasting into Green.
Oh, good play.
Green is fouled. There's that spring that Sidney Green has inside.
I mean, that was cool, but
a heck of a
that pass was great.
Robert Parrish, the free Bird. Gene Banks has to roll off, but Bird still has time to get the shot away.
Yeah, Corzine needed to contest that.
Say, only needs a half inch.
Foul was on McHale, his third. Sidney Green has been in a shooting slump the last month, trying to work his way out of it at a very tough time to do it. Playoffs against Boston.
But this is a low post option that I think has been very fruitful for them in prior ball games. He can go over, Sidney Green can go over Kevin McHale.
Celtics looking to tie it again. Dick
I don't know
Stockton
about
and Tom
that.
Heizman, fourth period.
Kevin McHale
Game
blocking
2,
everybody.
Best of 5. Celtics won the opening game, and they're in a dogfight here against Chicago, trailing 92-90.
Good
Diving
hustle.
for the loose ball is Gene Banks, but the Celtics still keep possession. Chicago trying to do what only one other team has done all year, beat the Celtics here at Boston Garden.
Yeah, you heard that right, you guys. The Celtics have only lost 1 game at home all year.
You have to keep your mind together, Gene Banks, and playing a Larry Bird.
That's how good this team is.
Garden. If they throw 9,000 picks for Larry Bird to get 1 shot, and Banks has the utmost respect for Bird. He says he's the craftiest guy he's ever played.
I just realized what a brag this is to put, like, your opponents have to look at this as they're playing you.
Against.
With that 15 NBA World Championships.
He learns something new for his own game every time he plays it.
That's psychological warfare. Bird with a bomb. Damn!
Hits a 3-pointer.
Yeah, he normally doesn't have to shoot from that range, but the shot clock was running out. Damn,
And the
Bird.
Celtics have their first lead since the opening basket of the ball game. Dennis Johnson steals it from Jordan.
That's not good, MJ. Get it back.
Inside to Parrish. And traveling call against Robert Parrish.
Ooh, you guys got lucky there.
Inside to Parrish.
I can't see his feet.
And traveling call against Robert
I
Parrish.
can't tell.
Here is the three-pointer with the clock running down.
It comes by accident here. Bird has to pop out as they could have called a foul. Instead, Bird, as the clock is winding down, has to let it fly, and he hits it.
So now we'll see
MJ, you
how
gotta make up for that
Chicago
last one.
responds to that knockdown punch by Larry Bird. Bulls with it, trailing by 1. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth period.
Ooh, good play.
And a foul. Michael Jordan is fouled
Yeah,
by
DJ's been playing MJ really well.
Dennis Johnson, and that'll be number 5 on
But he's in foul trouble.
Dennis.
Oof,
So
might have to
Johnson
bring
with
Ainge
5.
back in soon.
Bill Walton on the bench with 5 fouls, and now he gets off the bench.
Jeez.
And Robert Parrish playing with 4, and Parrish will sit down. Parrish today has 6 points and 6 rebounds. There's Orlando Woolridge, who has 20 points in support of Michael Jordan's 36. Now 37 for Jordan.
I think he got almost all those points in the third
Michael
quarter,
Jordan.
too.
You cannot stop him because he handles the ball so much, and they so much a percentage of
14 for 14 from the line.
the offense is designed for him to just get the ball and score.
14 for 14 from the line.
Yes, sir.
Chicago regains the lead.
Get it.
Hale going in. And is fouled.
Damn, foul on MJ?
Bring up to date on the story involving Michael Jordan. He missed 64 games of the season, and the Chicago management did not want him to play anymore. He had a broken left foot. He wanted to play. They said, okay, you can play. They wanted to limit his minutes, and they did. However, he had to sit down with 30 seconds to go and the game on the line against Indiana. He wanted to play. The crowd howled, and Michael Jordan put his foot down and said to the Chicago Bulls management, I'm going to play basketball. That's what I am, a basketball player.
Yep.
And they had to back down, and Jordan has played. And one of the great tributes to integrity and credibility in this sport is on the shoulders of Michael Jordan, I believe.
You heard it right there. It's not me saying this stuff. He earned it. He already earned it in his second year by doing this. Like, the guy was fighting to get out onto the court, fighting his own organization to allow him to play. It's wild. Most people would just say, screw it. We'll try again next year. I'll fully recover my foot. Him? No. He was like, I got to get my team into the playoffs every year. And he did it. He did it.
I think
He did it every year he was a Bull.
For him to stand there, he loves to play the game, and he wants to be on a winning team.
Yeah. He wants to help the
Nearly
team.
2 minutes gone by in this final period. Boston by 1. Chicago is led virtually all the way.
Money.
Jordan banks it in, and Jordan with 40 points.
That's a
He had
hard shot.
49 in game 1.
That's a really hard shot.
Seesting went out, Ainge came back in, and Ainge has ended up with the defensive assignment now.
Oh, again.
Give and go, Bird to Dennis Johnson. Corzine the rebound.
Guys, how many times have we seen that?
Ainge is going to guard Jordan now.
Sidney Green. Bird. Dennis Johnson.
We're running. Kevin
Hale
McHale
crashing the
battling.
boards. Who wants it?
What was that? Wait. Where's the ball?
Who wants
How, what? What? Is that? Is Kevin McHale shooting it while he's laying on his back?
Who wants it?
What the hell was that play?
He was almost on his back,
Yep.
Tommy.
That's what happened then.
He's going to get a foul on the play, too, but no whistle.
How'd he make that? That was the best shot of the game so far. What was that?
Celtics by 1. 3 minutes gone by, fourth period. And a foul away from the ball. Here it is.
Oh, good.
They're really banging on the boards. McHale trying to keep it live. Bird knocks it away. There's McHale, gets submarine, shoots the ball.
What is this?
It should have been a foul.
Hell of a shot.
Astonishing shot by Kevin McHale. Tommy, let's see that shot by Kevin McHale again.
Yeah, why
That'll
not?
be in all the highlights tonight at 11.
You'd think it would be, right? But no, this did not make the highlights. It was all Jordan because of the 63.
Well, it's like a quarterback throwing a touchdown pass as he's going
That's wild.
down. I've seen Larry Bird do some amazing things.
Another
We're
angle.
going to see another angle. It probably look better from this angle, of course. Look at that. I mean, didn't know what else to do with the ball than get it up there, hoping that the whistle would blow.
Yeah, that's true. He's hoping for an
Gets
and
the
one.
basket, but no foul.
We expect more of the same as the playoffs move on next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. And a doubleheader on Sunday, beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern. Great stars of the game, and you'll see them on CBS.
Chuck.
All the way to the NBA Finals, which you'll see exclusively on CBS as the drama just begins. 9:02 remaining. The foul was on Danny Ainge, his 4th personal foul. It's been seesaw now, 6 lead changes, but most of them in the last 2 minutes. Jordan working against Ainge now. And Jordan, if he was hit on the hand, it looked like he lost control of the ball, but he was pushed. And if that's on Ainge, that's 5 on Dan. That is. Did McHale have an assist on this?
Well, Danny is trying to stay one-on-one with him, bodies him. That's the wrong thing to do to body him. And then
No, you can't do that. You can do the forearm to the chest. You can't do a forearm like
Danny is trying to
this.
stay one-on-one with him.
Yeah, look at that.
Bodies him. That's the wrong thing to do to body him.
Yeah, and he's moving forward at the same time. Okay, I didn't see it live, but...
McHale
right.
pushes Ainge into Michael Jordan.
Oh, did he? Hold up.
Well, Danny is trying to stay one-on-one with him.
Oh, wait.
Bodies him. That's the wrong
Oh, McHale is shoving him into it. That's not Danny's fault.
thing to do to body him. And then
Why'd he do
McHale
that?
pushes Ainge into Michael Jordan.
Kind of surprised by that from Kevin McHale.
That was on Ainge.
I mean, good catch by the ref,
Fouls
though.
called on the 2 guards defending against Jordan right now. They're trying to save Dennis Johnson for the stretch against Michael Jordan. Having Ainge play him now.
42 points. That's what you want. You want Dennis Johnson to be there down the stretch.
Yeah, for
he
sure.
has 5 on the bench. Inside to McHale. See you later. You overplay against McHale, and he gets the ball. Just count it. And
Yep.
the Celtics regain the
100%.
lead.
Yeah,
25
if McHale
for
has
Kevin
good
McHale.
position down low, it's over.
Boston is really having trouble getting pace going because there's so much poise right now by the Bulls to get the shot they want.
Jordan misses. Woolridge has the rebound. Chicago Bulls are playing as if they've been in the playoffs every year for 10 years. Sidney Green misses, and finally the Celtics get it, and McHale the rebound. The Celtics' biggest lead was 2-0, and now they can open up a 3-point lead. Walton.
Oh, Walton
Straight
with the
inside
speed.
move. Passes to Bird. Doubled quickly. Good rotation for Chicago. Dennis Johnson into the ballgame. Sidney Green is fouled. Going
Over to
for
back,
the ball
Larry
with
Bird.
7:50 remaining. Stan Albeck's reaction to the action.
I like the way his tie flops up and down. And he's got a hop in his step,
Damn,
too. Huh?
man.
Larry Bird with his 4th personal foul.
Yeah, that was a over
Look at
the
the litany
back.
of fouls we've got here. We've got
They're in the penalty already.
Walton with 5, Ainge with 5, Dennis Johnson with 5, Harris with 4, Bird with 4.
Maybe that's what that isolation game is doing, is drawing attention to the individual one-on-one defender. The move for Casey Jones might be to try and really take the ball out of the hands of a Woolridge or a Michael Jordan with double teams.
Yeah,
7:50
a double team at the perimeter where Jordan catches it would be a great idea.
to go, and a lot can happen. But here's a team, the Chicago Bulls, who lost 52 games. This is the first time a team has made the playoffs with 50 or more losses.
But to be fair, no, I agree with what the Celtics are doing, because at this point, Jordan wasn't that big of a threat with a deep ball. So you don't want to trap him out there. You want to just trap him every time he gets into the paint, force him to take some bad shots. Yeah, I think that is the better method.
The Bulls did it in '68, and they're tied in Philadelphia.
You kind of dare him to shoot back then, you know?
You want to use the old cliche, backs against the wall. They're against the wall now. Can't afford to go down 2-0. 2 more games coming up. Bird goes for
Damn,
3.
Bird. Freaking Bird.
Celtics lead 102-100. They were down by 1. Now they're up by 2. 32 points for Larry Bird.
Yeah, Bulls look like they're running out of gas a little
Bird
bit.
and Jordan at the start.
Oh, no.
Paxson has a shot blocked, and Ainge will get an easy basket.
Uh-oh. It's getting away from him.
Holbeck wants a timeout.
Yep, that's what great teams do, man. As long as they stay close, they're within striking range. The rest is muscle memory.
With 7 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the fourth period, the Boston Celtics have their biggest lead of the ball game now. 4 points.
A Venus flytrap defense. They invite you in, close up on you, and then chew you up and spit you out.
I know.
And out comes the ball, and the Celtics converted that into a fast break opportunity with nobody on Danny Ainge for the layup. Now, this type of Boston trying to create tempo at this point.
The best example I can think of is think about what Boston and also what San Antonio did to LeBron in LeBron's first stint with Cleveland in the playoffs. They played the exact same strategy there. So they're daring him to drive the ball to the basket. The second that he would do it, they would just trap and swarm all over him, make him regret that, thus forcing you to be a jump shooter from the perimeter, which was his weakness. And at the point here, Jordan was a much better perimeter shooter than I would say LeBron was back then, but this was still considered Jordan's weakness in '86.
Got to do it with defense. Chicago has really got the pace of the game exactly where they want it.
John Paxson guarded by Dennis Johnson. Michael Jordan guarded by Danny Ainge, who's shadowing him. They're isolated.
Game of ISOs right now.
Isolation. They double team now. Walton's come out to meet Jordan. Jordan trying to use his quickness, and it works. Michael Jordan with 44 now on the ball.
Yeah, that was a mismatch with Walton on him.
Afraid to foul that time. Backed off Jordan a little bit.
Walton with 5.
Yep.
Next foul, and he's gone. Oakley in there, guarding Walton.
So keep it in mind. I don't know if he does it or not, but it would be really wise of Jordan to go at Bill Walton every time he can. Just get him out of the game at this point.
Woolridge on Bird. Bird with 34.
Bird's cooking.
Bird didn't get his first points until 15 and a half minutes.
Yeah, he's been cooking since the second quarter.
And the
34 points in 3 quarters.
Have not disappointed at a
Not even 3 quarters.
Walton trying to double now, picking up Jordan. Jordan isolated one-on-one. They come around. Basket, no.
Ooh.
No basket, the foul before.
He's like, thank you, Larry. I love that. By the way, why was Walton on him again?
Is fouled out of the ball game, I believe.
Oh.
Walton is fouled out of the ball game.
Yeah, why did they do this? Hold up. Because now there's a different perspective on this play, because we've all seen this play before.
Disappointed in a soul.
Hold on. All right. Okay. Jordan's got catching the ball out here in the perimeter.
Walton.
Oh, they switched. Bill Walton shouldn't have switched. You shouldn't have switched on that. You get what you get now.
Trying to double now, picking up Jordan.
Yeah, that was a mistake,
isolated
Bill.
One-on-one. They come around. Basket, no. No basket, the foul before. And Bill Walton is fouled out of the ball game, I believe. Walton is fouled out of the ball game and has played tremendously for the Boston Celtics today.
Little pick and roll action forces Walton to end up with Michael Jordan. And he
I got to be real. I don't think that was a foul.
Alertly knows that Walton.
It's hard to tell when it's happening that fast in live action. But I don't think that was a foul on Bill.
Foul trouble and has a good opportunity to take it to the hoop. Now Walton's kind of bumped him.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but
before the shot was taken.
Jordan misses the first.
He finally missed
Walton,
the free throw.
10 points and 15 rebounds today. Jordan hit his first 16 from the line before he missed there.
Let me know what you guys thought about that one. Was that a foul to you? Like, I'm talking an 86 foul, not a 20-25 foul.
Both of them. That's the
timestamp it, you guys, in the comments.
I think it might be, Dick.
You can all join in.
But you got to miss some free throws once in a while. I think Jordan right now, they did a great job of not asking him to do too much too early.
Just under 6 minutes to go, fourth period. Celtics leading by 4.
Foul on Jordan.
They call the foul away from the ball.
I mean, you just did the same thing that Bill Walton did, but you did it on Bird. So, yeah, you're going to get that. You're going to get that whistle blown. What's
Michael
that, 3
Jordan.
on MJ?
2 fouls on
2
Jordan.
fouls. He literally just
Harris
gave a
in
good
the
old
ball game.
forearm
He's
to
playing
Bird's
with 4
back.
fouls. Bill Walton fouled out of the ball game. Dennis Johnson is playing with 5. Bird
Double team. Don't triple team him.
Paxson gets back to Johnson.
Yeah, Bulls defense is definitely a weakness here. Their double teams and their traps, they are really clumsy with it. Like that wasn't supposed to be a triple team. Let me break it down real quick. Let's see.
Harris in the ball game.
Okay.
He's playing with 4 fouls. Bill Walton fouled out of the ball game. Dennis Johnson is
Ball's going to Bird. This is obvious who's got the double team here. Right there. You fill in the gap. You close in. Like this should be a no-brainer, guys.
with 5.
But no, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is where the play gets broken. What are we doing here?
Bird triple teamed all of a sudden. Paxson gets back to Johnson.
Yeah, I know they didn't score, but that was a wide open look. You know what I mean? That's a coaching nightmare right there when you see this kind of a breakdown.
And a good, quick defensive move by Paxson.
Yeah, but DJ didn't swing the ball like they normally do to the wide open Danny Ainge, who's had a hot hand here.
Jordan
he
cuts
had
the Celtic
plenty of
lead
clearance.
to 2, and he has 46 points.
He just casually got 46.
Keep in mind, the Boston Celtics went into this game with a 41-1 record at Boston Garden, including Game 1 victory over Chicago on Thursday.
The funny thing is, in the first half, I was being a jerk and critiquing his shot selection. I bet his shot percentage right now is at like 60-something%.
Corzine on McHale.
Good double.
Harris.
There you go, you guys. That's what it's supposed to look like.
In Chicago, knowing when to double, alertly playing good team defense.
Confusing them. The Celtics are not aware all the time of where the double is actually coming from and who the open man is.
Bird winds up
what
with
a
the ball
pass.
and gets it to Ainge. 3-on-1 Boston. Johnson to Ainge.
What was the call? Foul on the ground?
Chicago foul as Ainge is slow getting up.
Bodies everywhere.
This is kind of playoff intensity as John Paxson.
You know, there was a pretty good no call on Bird with that outlet pass. Was going down when he made that outlet pass. They easily could have called a foul on that, but the Celtics still didn't get a hoop out of it and not a free throw either.
Harris gets free.
How did that one happen?
But the Celtics still didn't.
I mean, I don't know about this double team, you guys. I don't agree with this double team whatsoever.
Get a hoop out of it and not a free throw either.
Harris gets free. Harris with only 8 points in the ball game, his first point since the opening period. But it's good enough to give the Celtics a 4-point lead, 108-104. Nearly 4.5
Same
to play.
spot,
Jordan
short.
is short. McHale
Get
lead
that.
pass.
Pax. Oh my God. Whoa.
Play. Jordan is short.
Look at the sacrifice.
McHale lead pass.
Oh no. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh man. Okay. Does Pax want to win? Yes. Yes, he does.
Knocks it over, and Ainge was hit in the eye. Jordan brings it up. Ainge staggered for the moment, and a foul called against Bird.
Damn, bro.
Paxson was shaken up, and so is Danny Ainge.
That was a collision on that long McHale outlet pass.
Does he get undercut?
Athletic move here by Paxson to go over the top of Ainge.
No, he really didn't get undercut. Oh, he popped him in the face right there.
And then Ainge gets hit in the jaw by Paxson's elbow, and Paxson really took a header too. 2 down and 8 to go.
Yeah, no fouls. 86 basketball was wild.
Larry Bird was called for his 5th personal foul.
Wow, whoa.
I have never seen as many fouls called in a game like this.
And the funny thing is, they're pointing out extra fouls that aren't being called constantly. The commentators. It was just a very physical game.
Bird on this outlet pass right now. Somebody's got him. They're holding him. That's where I said before they could have called the foul.
Corzine.
They're on Corzine, which wasn't called, and it was like maybe a good no call because the officials felt that the Celtics had a good fast break advantage.
Yeah, I think it was a good no call.
Missing from the line
Tell you the truth.
as of late. Something they can't afford to do here. Trailing by 4 with 4:23 to go.
There you go.
1 out of 2 for Charles Oakley. So Bird
Keeping
with
that 60-something% average.
Dennis Johnson has 5. Walton is fouled out of the game. Parrish, who has 4s on easy street compared to the others. 4:11 remaining.
Oh,
Bird
again.
Parrish blocked. A block by Woolridge, I believe, or Jordan. We'll check. Chicago with a chance to cut it to 1.
What a morale builder that defensive stint was for the Bulls.
Jordan.
Oh, why'd you
Looks like
stop
lately
the
the
dribble?
Bulls have been going
Take him
Jordan
one-on-one.
like they did at the start of the
Go
last
baseline.
game.
Yep, there it is.
Here he is,
there
the
it is.
move in the basket.
There it is.
What a morale builder that defensive stint was for the Bulls.
Jordan. Looks like lately the Bulls have been going to Jordan like they did at the start of the last game. Here he is, the move in the
Nice.
basket.
That's what I was trying to look at when I caused the glitch. All right. I wanted to look at this one-on-one. Apologies, you guys.
Was for the Bulls.
Jordan.
Okay. So he's going to catch the ball on the perimeter. Yeah, it's still wild that he's going to go here. But it just made sense to go baseline. Because if he goes wide, they're all going to push him out. You know? So it's just... I couldn't have done this. MJ did it, though.
Been going to Jordan like they did at the start of the last game. Here he is, the
He's
move in the basket. And it's a one-point game as Stan Albeck urges his team on. 108-107, not much time to go in the fourth. This is not the time, though. I mean, I don't know, Tom, what do you think to ignore the other guys? Because you're going to need somebody.
Well,
did Jordan do it himself?
I think Jordan is the guy to go to right now at this phase portion of the game. But the Celtics got to find somebody.
Oops.
Ainge with a fake on
Good fake.
Corzine.
Good shot.
Hits the shot. 3-point lead again for Boston.
It looks to me like the Bulls are going to double anything down low that the Celtics try to use McHale or Parrish, so it may end up in a lap of Danny Ainge and Dennis Johnson to win this ball game for the Celtics.
Oops.
Jordan beating Corzine.
What was... Whoa, Corzine made that.
Corzine, they've rarely gone to him. 6 points in the game for the veteran. And it's 110-109. But it's been the Bird and Jordan show. Bird with 34. Michael Jordan has 48 on top of his 49 in game 1 on Thursday night.
Using that little pick and roll beautifully up top, Jordan and Corzine.
There's the time.
I mean, that was a pretty awesome shot by Corzine. That was a good position.
This is the shot.
Rare miss
and the
from
rebound by Oakley. And now Chicago looking to take the lead. Bulls led most of the way. 11-point bulge in the first half. A 10-point lead in the second half. Celtics have fought back. Jordan, short.
There it is.
And it drops. And 50 points for Michael Jordan.
Well, now I know how Jordan's going to get all these points. Because he needed a lot of points to hit that 63. That's they're going to have just a ball in his hands. He's not playing off ball anymore. Because the ball was not getting in his hands easy enough. Especially when DJ was guarding him. He did a great job with Jordan off ball.
That's what Dominique Wilkins had for the Atlanta Hawks yesterday.
You get him moving left, and he's still, you think you're going to have an advantage. He's got to bring the ball back to you, but his leaping ability normally takes you right over the top.
11 on the clock. Into Parrish. Foul.
Foul on MJ.
Jordan is saying it was before the shot.
I don't know about that one, MJ.
And that will result in a timeout with 2:10 to go on the clock of this heated affair. Tommy, let's see the Chicago Bulls do it at both ends of the floor in the sequence.
Well, you've got to have a good rotating weak side of your defense. That's Michael
good
Jordan.
job, MJ.
And he gets over there beautifully to start, and that was a morale builder. Then he comes up the other end, and Kevin McHale playing poor defense, shows him the baseline with no help, and with that leaping ability, Jordan powers it through.
I know, that lightning
little pick
speed.
and roll allows Corzine
look at his
to
shot.
get into the pack, and against Bird to throw up this swooping hook shot. So the heads of the Bulls are into this win.
2:10 remaining. 111-110, Chicago leading. Parrish, guarded by Oakley. Give and go to Danny Ainge and a foul with 2:01 on the clock.
Who was that one on?
And Charles Oakley has picked up his 5th personal foul.
Dang. Everyone's in foul trouble.
Virginia Union, who's been as good as any rookie the second half of this year. Better than most.
Yep, he was MJ's enforcer.
Rare miss for Danny Ainge, a 90%er from the line. Now we'll try to tie it up for the Celtics.
It's funny to think. This relationship started in '86 and they're still like best buddies.
Cocky kid loves to be in these type of situations.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
We want to welcome the audience that saw the Washington Bullets and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, they're
this
trapping
is Dick
him?
Stockton and Tom Heizman. We're under 2 minutes to go.
I
in
wouldn't
the
do
tie
that.
Game. The Celtics trying to take a 2-0 lead over the Bulls.
Is that the strategy, though? Are they going to trap him up
1-1
top?
now with their victory over Washington. Michael Jordan has been a sensational show again. 52 points for Michael Jordan. And Chicago leads by 2.
Man.
The leading scorers in this
What a
game.
good game.
Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. And the Bulls are within 134, becoming only the second team to beat the Celtics in the Garden this year. Harris.
Well,
McHale,
it didn't happen.
Offensive
Ooh,
rebound.
what a block.
Knocked out of bounds. Celtics wanted goaltending. Jordan knocked it out of bounds. No call from the officials.
Dick, we've seen the Bulls control the tempo of this game practically for the entire length, slow it down, and get the type of
Show that
offense
block
they
again.
wanted.
It happened too
And a
fast for me to
timeout
tell what the
called by
hell.
The Celtics. It's come down to this in the Boston Garden. Dick Stockton and Tom Heizman with 1:25 remaining in the final period, and the Chicago Bulls lead by 2. The timeout story and the fouls
Wow. Bulls
situation,
with 3 full timeouts still.
which has played a major role here. Bill Walton has already fouled out for the Boston Celtics. Dennis Johnson,
Crazy.
Danny Ainge, and Larry Bird have 5. Oakley with 5, and a host of people with 4. 4 may not be that much of a factor now unless we go into overtime. Want to remind you the final round action of
We
the Heritage
just
coming
might.
up next on CBS. Michael
Game
Jordan.
140. Jesus. Game 1, 49 points. So far today, 52 points.
Michael Jordan topped his first
The
game
hell?
effort. He has 52 points, and Roger Maltby has a 2-stroke lead at the Heritage.
What's wrong with this MJ, dude?
Jordan, by the way, also 16 points in this period.
Did he even sit in the second half? I wasn't really paying attention. I don't think he sat down in the second half.
Celtics trying to
he did in
find
the second
matchup
quarter.
that can be the most productive. They try to use
Let me know,
McHale.
guys.
Corzine did a decent job on him. Now they're going to, I think, maybe go to Parrish.
10 on the clock. Double on Parrish.
There
Dennis
you go.
Johnson
Good
penetrates,
recovery.
Draws the ball
Oh.
and gets the basket. Big play by Dennis Johnson.
Now, see, they actually did it right this time, but it didn't matter. That was just better offense. But check it
Go
out.
to Parrish.
10 on
Good
the clock.
double. Now you got to see the commit come in right here and switch over. And he's going to get there.
Double on Parrish. Dennis Johnson penetrates.
But
draws
that's
the
just-
ball and gets the basket.
that was a hell of a
Big play
shot.
by Dennis Johnson.
But that's what you want. Because that's not a good shot.
Can you imagine
It just
he didn't make the All-Star
it went
team?
in.
There may not be a more clutch backcourt performer in the league all around than Dennis Johnson.
Yeah,
As
DJ.
a double team, they left Dennis Johnson, and he
that was
took
wild.
it to the pack. And Paxson did not get over there quite quick enough. Dennis scored, got a chance for the three-point play.
I mean, he had 3 defenders in front of him, and he still made the shot. I would just call that a hell of a shot.
Tough.
I've been complaining about the Bulls' defense enough, but
6'5", and he's got
credit
that
where credit's
solid
due.
body.
Well, he didn't take the outside shot. He took it to the hoop.
The tough penetrator.
Giggity.
Celtics by 1. All eyes on Jordan with 52.
Good shot.
Short.
Oh,
But
short.
there's Oakley fighting
Or blocked.
inside. No foul. Blocked. Robert
Nope,
Parrish.
no fouls.
picks it
I think
off,
he got
and the
blocked.
Celtics with under a minute to go have the
Take
lead
it.
by
Take
3.
it. Take the shot.
Make it 1-14.
Oh, what a pass.
Now it's 3.
All right, Danny.
Ainge to McHale.
Wow, what a fake. That was a hell of a play. What an unselfish play by
27
Danny
for
Ainge.
Kevin McHale.
He'll never be that open
Those
again
big
in his
guys
career.
Right down the middle of the floor. They get open. It's been the Celtics story this year.
I mean, he had me on that fake, too. I legit thought he was taking it.
You're going to see Danny Ainge make a very intuitive play to Kevin McHale. He's going to make it look like a shot, to get the defense to relax and just lays it out there as nice as can be.
That's great
for
basketball
Kevin McHale.
right there.
What a key pass at a key point in the ball game.
Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, and a doubleheader Sunday, starting at 1 o'clock. CBS will bring you the playoffs. Kevin McHale, the latest hero. And the Chicago Bulls have talked things over. 116 to 113, 45 seconds to go. Tommy?
Well, if it doesn't go to Michael Jordan, I'll be very surprised. But what they really have to do, the Celtics will be jumping at him, is on the shot by Jordan. If he misses, everybody bang the board.
Paxson. Corzine in the corner, inside to Oakley.
Ooh, that was a good look. Good pass by Corzine.
Parrish. That'll be his fifth
good position by
foul.
Oakley.
5 on Robert Parrish.
And a 5th foul for Parrish.
So they went to someone else other than Michael Jordan and Casey Jones.
Well, they beat the Boston press, and here's Oakley underneath, and there was the foul on Parrish. Bird had a hand on the ball. Boston went up and challenged Michael Jordan.
Oakley 66% from the line on the year.
Get in there, buddy.
4 for 5.
He's going to miss the next one. He's got to keep that average.
The rest of the
I think it was like 63% or something.
The Celtics wasn't into play. Good move by Paxson to create it.
And the Celtics lead by 2.
Yep.
And now Chicago has to play defense right here and not allow the Celtics to score and perhaps not to foul. They'll get another possession. 23 seconds and 11 on the shot clock. Bird guarded by Woolridge. Bird fires it up blindly.
Oh, big rebound. Oh, no.
Loses it to Oakley.
Oakley, you made up for that free throw, buddy.
And there are 8 seconds to go, and Chicago
down by 2.
Timeout with 6 on the clock. A 2-point ball game. Chicago. Larry Bird throw up a wild
they were like 3 seconds late on that timeout. Like, what the hell?
Parrish seemingly had the ball.
Either do it or don't do it.
Looking on as Oakley ultimately wound up with the ball.
That was a 4-hop play.
Yeah. Why'd you have to... Why are you jumping so much, man? Call the timeout. Call the timeout, then jump.
Stand right on it. Calls the timeout, but here's Bird being double teamed. I think he was really hoping he'd get a foul call that time. Parrish has the rebound, and a nice knockaway by Jordan.
Oh, yeah, it was, huh?
Parrish has the rebound.
Okay.
And a nice knockaway by Jordan.
That was MJ and Oakley right there.
Right into the hands of Oakley. Well, they got the ball to the man they wanted, Larry Bird.
Well,
not the best judgment.
Can you guys take a wild guess who's going to get the ball with 6 seconds left in the game in the playoffs? Down by 2. Here we go.
I mean, he thought he might have gotten fouled. That's why he let it fly.
Right. So 6 seconds to go, Tommy. The obvious thing is to let Michael Jordan do it, either outside or inside. He has a career high of 52 points. Tremendous effort by Michael Jordan. What are the options now for Stan Albeck other than Michael Jordan, or is that it?
Well, he's your #1 guy that can get by a man, but all the Celtics are going to be running at him. If they can get the ball to him quickly, they'll be able to get a shot, a quick shot, and a potential rebound. More for the fact that the Celtics will be concerned about him. That's why I want the ball in his hands and hope that he makes the shot. If not, you got almost a guaranteed shot at a good rebound opportunity.
Bulls have 1 timeout left. They led most of the way in this game, 11 in the first half, 10 in the second. Celtics whittled the lead. They were down by 3 after 3 period and opened up a lead of no more than 4 points with 7 minutes to go and a little less than that, and Chicago fought back, had the score tied it a couple of times. They went back and forth.
No commercial break.
And now it's a 2-point
They stayed
game.
with the action on this one.
Kyle Macy takes his jacket off. Do you go for 3 and try to gamble and win it all here?
Well, you might, because the 3-point play for Kyle Macy is an easy shot. And that penetration by Jordan might create that, but he also may make the basket himself and get the foul. I got a couple of ways they can score 3 points here.
They have 1 timeout left, 6 seconds to go. Paxson will inbound. And now the Celtics call a timeout.
Yep.
Is there something they saw?
Did.
The lineup on the inbound play, I think, and who's in the ball game. They just recognized Macy was in there, I believe, and now they said, let's talk it over what we're going to do with Macy.
Now, what could they do with Macy? Now they have several possibilities for outside shots, Jordan and Macy being just 2 of them.
Well, by putting Macy in the ball game, what you have is the potential of the defense extending.
Yeah. Yep, and it makes sense. Double team Jordan. If you're going to double team Jordan, you got a shooter open.
All right, we'll be back with the finish.
Nope, now you got a commercial.
The Chicago
Listen to that
Bulls
Oregon
have
player
given
just
the
rocking
Boston
out.
Celtics a tremendous battle
Good old
today,
times.
but need 2 points to tie, perhaps 3 to win with 6 seconds to go. Michael Jordan with a career high of 52 points.
What? You guys hearing that? Da, 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 da. What's the name of that song, guys? Please put it in the comments. It's driving me crazy. Something on
the heels
fire.
of 49 in Game 1. Larry Bird with 34 points and 11 rebounds today. And talking about whether to go for 3 or 2, keep in mind that Bird
Chariots
has
of
5
fire?
fouls, Parrish has 5, Walt
Is
is
that
out
it?
of the game. Chicago may be better off going for 2, but who knows?
They got Paxson and Macy in there. By having them in the lineup, that might extend
Okay.
the Celtics defense. Wedman is in for Boston.
MJ's out here. We used to do this all the time when I was playing too. And if I'm MJ, I'm popping out. Like I'm going whoop and catching the ball right here. Let's see what happens.
For defensive
I feel like
purposes.
Bird would know that though.
That's
Nope,
the
that's
change
it.
the
Okay, pop out. All right. Here we go.
Celtics made. Michael Jordan working against Dennis Johnson. Clock running down. 3 seconds. 3-point shot. No good. And a foul. Wait. A foul against Kevin McHale has been called by Middleton.
Oof.
With no time showing.
I
on
gotta
the
see
clock.
that again. But real quick, just for those of you who don't know, back then if you fouled a three point shot, it's only 2 free throws. It's not 3.
Kevin McHale can't believe it. Kevin McHale has been called for the foul on Michael Jordan from 8 feet beyond the 3-point line.
I have to see it
Yeah, me
myself.
too.
Here's Kevin coming all the way.
I can't tell from that.
And we didn't see what actually happened, but players do fake the foul.
He can tie it up here and send the game in overtime.
This is clutch time, by the way. Like these 2 free throws, regardless of what just happened, I would love a better look. But this is clutch time. These are some hard free throws.
No time remaining. He made his first 16, then missed 2 before he made the 1, and this is pressure.
That's crazy pressure.
Overtime in Game 2 of our best of 5.
Yep, if you didn't know,
first round
we're
NBA
going to
playoff.
overtime, everyone.
And the Chicago Bulls are trying to do what only the Portland Trailblazers have done so far this year.
I do
Beat
want
the
to see that
Celtics
foul,
in
though.
Boston.
Just in the pursuit of fairness here.
We're going to see it. We can't really
Okay.
see whether Kevin McHale fouled him or not, but boy, that shot, McHale has to go out there to
That's a risky play, Kevin.
react.
Okay, all right. In hindsight, that was a good call.
And whether the foul actually took place or not, I couldn't see because I was following the flight of the ball too. So McHale didn't think so. He was telling Larry Bird that when he went by, Jordan stuck out his arm and knocked himself down, but Stan Olbeck sees it the other way, of course.
Yep.
Sam Vincent had a bird's eye low view of all this, but
That's an ant's view.
the thing is that everyone was looking at the ball with the exception of the official. One official was checking the ball, the other one was out there. Now, if you want to know whether the officials were in position to call it, the answer is yes. Ed Middleton was no more than 5 feet from Michael Jordan when he took the shot. In any event, we're going to overtime, and Michael Jordan with 54 points, a career high, and 5-minute overtime session. Each team has
Yeah, I gotta say, in that the first viewing of it, like the first angle, it didn't look like a foul, but that last one, it looked like Kevin got him as Jordan was finishing his shooting motion.
3 timeouts. Boston still has a 20.
Which is kind of a surprising slip
He'll
up by
jump
Kevin
center
McHale, if I'm being
with
honest.
Woolridge jumping against Parrish. On the 4th foul, the team will get into the bonus.
But in hindsight, did Kevin McHale just save the game right there? Because, like we covered in the last one, you get 2 free throws for a 3-point shot back then, not 3. So if Jordan would have hit that 3, game over. Bulls would have won. So perhaps, as I'm criticizing McHale, perhaps he inadvertently saved the game.
Foul trouble situation becomes major now. as we have a slew of players with 5. Celtics control.
All right, let's see how this
Their
ends.
biggest lead was 4. Biggest lead for the Bulls.
I mean, obviously, I know who wins the game, but like, let's see what leads to it.
Corzine doubled with Jordan.
Ooh, good defense.
Recovers it. Bird. Ainge. Ainge. And Corzine holds on for the rebound.
Damn. Surprisingly, Danny's missed a couple of these wide open looks.
Kevin McHale normally is able to find and locate that open man.
Jordan's 54 points ties John Havlicek for the 4th best individuals.
Yeah, Jordan has been disrupting their offense a little bit by
long range. Jordan
Ooh,
hits
nice.
it, 56
By
for
floating
Jordan.
around on
and
defense.
That ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader, Bob Love, who had 56 in the game.
Bob Love.
And the Bulls lead by 2.
That kind of answers your question about whether it's tied or not. You don't start hitting outside shots like that at the tail end of a ball game if you're tired. I think he was used wisely in the offense in the early part of the game by Stan Albeck.
Pick and roll, Harris. Rebound by Oakley.
And what's crazy is how did Jordan have so much stamina at this point? He was injured all year, recovering, and he was on such a hardcore minutes restriction leading up to game 1. This is just game 2. How is his stamina at this point?
With a little more than a minute gone by.
I think he only sat for 4 minutes in this game, and that was in the first half, second quarter.
Celtics lead in the best of 5. Philadelphia, Washington are tied 1-1 in their best of 5 series.
Oh, that was a good look pass, and he should have taken that shot.
The Bulls.
Woolridge over Ainge, short. McHale clears, and the Celtics
get back, guys.
Bird, Ainge. That's what they didn't do most of the game, Tommy. Run the floor.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
To create tempo, to push it at the defense. They've been playing at the rhythm of the Bulls all afternoon long.
Ainge 20 points in the ball game. Bird leads with 34. Jordan is 56. 10 on the clock. Woolridge going in strong. No basket.
Ooh, what?
For the offensive foul. And that'll be 5.
What was that? Let me see.
34. Jordan is 56. 10 on the clock.
Offensive foul?
It's going in strong.
Oh,
no
man, I don't know about that one.
Offensive foul. And
I don't get that one.
On Orlando Woolridge.
Like I was looking at his left arm, thinking he might have stretched it out to create space, but he didn't. He went straight up.
So Woolridge and Oakley have 5 fouls.
Let me know
Chicago.
if I missed something there.
Bird, Harris,
timestamp it in the
Dennis
comments
Johnson,
if you could, too, guys.
Ainge, all with 5 for the Celtics, and they're all on the floor.
Oop. Good pass.
Bird trying to feed inside. It's still Celtic ball with 2:55 on the clock.
Oh,
Ainge,
good luck.
Baseline, fires it up. Bird loses the ball inside,
Yeah.
and Oakley got a piece of that one.
Yeah, Ainge's shot is off.
118, 2:45 remaining in overtime.
1-on-1, 1-on-1. 1-on-1, take him.
On the clock to send it into OT.
Ooh, you had him without the pump fake, MJ.
Celtics trying to take the lead, 2-on-1. Parrish is fouled by.
Good foul. Good
So this is
sportsmanship,
where
too.
we are. Game 2, and the drama is not over yet here at the Garden. Philadelphia and Washington are 1-1. The Nets and Milwaukee play later with the Milwaukee Bucks leading 1-0 in their best of 5, and Atlanta will take a 2-0 lead to Detroit this week in their series.
The Celtics right now.
I gotta say, Jordan's starting to look fatigued a little bit.
Defense were trying to disrupt the rhythm of the Bulls' offense by doubling people, taking the ball out of the hands of the people the Bulls want to have the ball. Michael Jordan, Woolridge, and it's creating a little confusion for the Bulls. They're not going to get the good shots, it looks like, but Boston has to convert.
1 point lead for the Bulls. Jordan and Johnson fighting for the loose ball. You want to talk about macho pride for offense and defense right there. And the Bulls will have it with 17 seconds on the clock. Leading
Macho
by 1.
pride.
Check
It was
that,
a
the
different
Celtics
time.
lead 119-118.
It was a different time. Men were allowed to be
Free
men.
throw by Parrish, the difference right now. Woolridge going up strong. And it's Chicago now.
All right.
120
I've
to
been wondering
119.
where Orlando Woolridge has been. He had such a good third quarter.
Sit back and watch this one. They're taking shots at each other. Haymakers.
This crowd is quiet. Harris Boston to Corzine, and under 2 minutes to go. Chicago with a 1-point lead and the ball.
Damn, man. All right,
This is a
Bulls
team
in
that
control.
lost 52 games this year. The worst record of any team in the playoffs. Celtics with the best record
double
in the
team,
league,
double team.
67 and 15. They're this close. 3 on the shot clock. Jordan.
Oh, nice.
And a foul. And a big basket for the Chicago
That was a
Bulls.
big-time basket.
And Jordan could give them a 4-point lead. 58 for Michael Jordan.
Why isn't he tired right now? Well, 2 things,
I think he is tired, but he's still just, he's just harding it out.
1, he missed a great portion of the season. He doesn't have the normal fatigue. And 2, they used him very wisely in the offense in the first part of the game.
Dennis Johnson has, let's see, fouled out of the ball game, and Jerry Seasting has come in. He fouls out with 15 points. 59.
Nice.
For
Up by
Michael
4.
Jordan, second best playoff ever in a single game to Elgin Baylor's 61. We could see an all-time record established.
We just might.
Seasting in a crowd. Ball away.
Oh, Bird.
And a foul.
Oh,
Jerry
no,
Seasting
sorry.
with 3 or 4 men on him, and he's only 6'1", made a big basket for Boston.
And he did something that the rest of the Celtics have not been doing. He faked when he got into the defense, lifted people, and then took the shot.
He might have traveled there.
Smart play by Jerry Seasting.
Foul on Jordan is 4th. Seasting misses the free throw. Parrish and Seasting each have missed 1 important free throw here.
All right,
Otherwise,
Bulls up
this
by
game
2.
would be tied.
$1:20 left.
Final round of the Heritage coming up. After this
This
game,
crowd is
123-121
shocked
Chicago
right
in
now.
overtime. Jordan. And Bird got a hand.
Just a fun
Great play by
reminder.
Larry Bird.
At this point of this season, the Celtics have only lost 1 home game
And the
all
Celtics
year.
are looking to tie or lead.
They're the ultimate team.
Bird, Parrish, foul. That was the only play Chicago had, and even the Celtics are off their chairs.
Here he comes, Bird cuts off Jordan at the baseline. They turned him loose, pushed him underneath the basket. The ball, a pass out, hit the net, so it ends up in the hands of Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
Good defense.
This is one
Bird created that. He deflected that pass.
rugged overtime period.
It's a good hustle by Bird. Good finish by
each other physically.
Parrish coming up with
They're
it.
banging.
Banging.
Chicago calls a timeout, and Parrish has 1 free throw to try to tie it up with 59 seconds to go in OT.
Damn.
Michael Jordan, 59 points. Elgin Baylor, the all-time single game.
Jordan already was on the list.
Performance of 61, that's ever against the Celtics, regular season and playoff. And Baylor's 61 was against the Celtics in a playoff game in April of 62.
Shout out to Jerry West,
and that's
too.
the top performance in a playoff game, and Jordan is 2 points away from that. Meanwhile, Robert Parrish is on the line with 1 free throw to try to tie the game now.
Well, they put the freeze on him, trying to chill him down.
I
See if
call
Robert responds to the challenge.
make.
He hit 1 of 2 before, makes them both here. They're tied at 123. 59 seconds to go. We were even at 116 apiece.
God, I don't remember how this goes
Going
down.
into the session. Jordan over 8.
Ooh, I only know the result.
Bird the rebound.
Big time rebound by Bird.
Celtics with 20 on the shot clock.
Sloppy.
From Bird, he recovers. Looking for anything, even a foul.
Travel?
Goes up, and he travels.
The funny thing is I don't even know if he did travel, but in the 80s, that was enough. If it looked funny,
He recovered.
let's see.
Looking for
Pump fake. All right, so his left is the pivot foot, right?
anything. Even a foul.
He didn't travel, guys.
And he travels.
He didn't even travel.
Bird traveled.
But-
and to Chicago's credit,
The reason I want to
to
point that out is in the 80s and the 90s, if there was any little shuffle of the feet that looked suspicious, they didn't hesitate to call it a travel. Like, it was wild. You'd see so many times a person would take their 2 steps and get called for the travel. And it's like, what the hell?
him in a hurry.
Well,
Now
they
it's
were
like
poking
5
at the
steps.
ball, and Larry really was looking over both shoulders to see where they were coming from, and that's what caused the walk.
21 on the shot clock, a 13-second differential. And the Bulls with a chance to take the lead.
Okay.
Woolridge against McHale, going in against both. Tipped up and in, and it was Corzine with the tip-in.
Corzine, big
with
tip-in.
22 seconds to go, the Bulls lead again, 125-123. And the Celtics will call a timeout and 15 seconds to try to tie it.
The Bulls have control with 15 seconds left in overtime.
Playoff game from Boston Garden.
What a game. What a slugfest.
We're going to look at Dave Corzine right here. Robert Parrish is supposed to block him off the boards, but he gets mesmerized by the penetration.
Giggity.
And he lets Corzine step inside, and he uses it to good advantage.
Oh, good play.
For a beautiful key tip in to put the Bulls ahead by 2.
He snuck right in there.
And here it was. Dave Corzine, one of the unsung leaders on the team, maligned at home by the Chicago crowd with as big a basket as he's ever had. 8 points and 8 rebounds. 15 seconds to go for the Celtics to try to tie it or win it, trailing by 2. Bird inbounding. McHale, Ainge with a fake. Goes all the way.
Wow.
Ties it with 12 seconds
I was
left.
not expecting that.
Chicago still has 2 timeouts. They'll use one of them now.
Dude, 12 seconds.
It looked like Ainge had easy sailing for that tying layup.
Well, they were looking to play Ainge for the pass, and once he got past Michael Jordan, everybody went back to their own man, thinking he was going to penetrate and then pass. Nobody really made a real commitment to him.
I got to be real. I was thinking probably what they were thinking. He's gonna penetrate and then get the ball to Bird.
We just said, why not? I'll go all the way.
Yeah, but he had a wide open path.
Oakley.
Danny Ainge with 22 points, all in the second half, as Bill Walton fouled out of the game, leading the cheers. But now the focus is on the Chicago Bulls. This is first round playoff action. Tonight, playoff action continues on several fronts. In the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks host the New Jersey Nets with Milwaukee leading 1-0. Denver is at home with a 1-0 lead over the Portland Trail Blazers, and Dallas will try to make it 2 in a row at Reunion Arena against Utah. Stan Albeck, who coached the Spurs, coached Cleveland before that, and the Nets in his first year in Chicago in a topsy-turvy year with Quentin Daly suspended with a drug problem and injuries to a lot of people, including Jordan in the 64 games. He didn't really have his true team until the last couple of weeks.
And this game here, they are functioning so well and in developing the roles that I didn't think that they would be able to do, but they have really been outstanding today.
Let's not forget Jawan Oldham, the 7-foot center, who is one of the top shot blockers in the NBA, who, if the series goes to 4 games, would be eligible to come back. And Oldham has had a broken cheekbone. He missed the last 18 games, and if Chicago can win here, he'll get a chance to play against the Celtics. But they haven't won this. It's 125 all, 12 seconds to go in the first overtime.
All right, here we go.
Well, is Michael Jordan going to get it again? The Celtics are trying to keep the ball away from him.
Uh-oh, they're doing a good job, too.
Goes to Corzine.
He's got to get rid of it.
Ooh, risky pass, but good.
Jordan with a jump shot.
That's what you want.
Misses the shot.
That's what you want.
2 seconds to go, and the Celtics call a tie. They'll get a chance to win it.
Damn, they played him so good off the ball.
The first.
But no excuses. He got a good look.
A three-pointer and was fouled by McHale and hit 2 free throws with no time remaining. And now Boston can have the last laugh. Tommy, it looked like Jordan had his shot here.
They did get him the ball. Corzine said, I'm going to get it
6 seconds left.
To you, and
I'm actually surprised he didn't go to the basket a little bit here.
Does, and he's wide open. You can't ask for a finish.
But no, what am I saying? He had McHale off balance. Bird didn't commit. He had a wide open shot. You got to take it.
Shot the net from a player of Jordan's caliber.
Unfortunately, nobody had to rebound
Bird
there.
alertly calls timeout.
Bird with 34, McHale 27.
How many big rebounds have we seen from Bird?
Half. We'll get to the heritage as soon as this one is history. What does Boston do?
He's doing all the little things
on the clock.
Some kind of pass, either dead in a corner, I think, for Larry Bird, or a lob pass over the top close to the basket, maybe to McHale. But they've got Seasting in there, who might also, or Wedman, for that outside bomb. That's what you're hoping to get right now. I think the lob is out of the question.
Ainge will inbound. Last year, the Celtics were hard-pressed by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They went to 4 games, but they were tough games. Banks comes in the game, replacing Oakley.
For quickness purposes, to get out there and
all right, what's about to happen?
Shooters.
Bird with the ball.
Inbound. Bird has it. 1 second to go. If it comes
oh!
second overtime. Larry Bird.
Yeah, so both MJ and Bird got their shot.
Had the same kind of a shot he hit on that wild three-pointer, and we go to double overtime here at Boston Garden. The score, 125-125.
He slips right behind the defense and gets in there. They go to double team him.
Good defense, though.
Which was right on his shooting hand.
Almost sunk it.
Back rims it. I mean, those are prayer shots, of course, but both teams had their best shooters, best players taking that outside shot. Neither one made it. Watch it from another angle.
Yeah.
Woodward's right on the shooting hand.
Tommy, I know that
he was still right on the money.
Into the finals,
yeah, look at him, like, come on.
The drama of the finals, but you know, this is kind of like the shades of the Boston Celtics and the Phoenix Suns in a 3 overtime game that you remember. Remember that one?
I remember it very well. I'll tell you, I fainted in the locker room after that one. I don't think it's going to happen to me tonight.
No, you won't faint because you're in good shape right now. But we have seen a marvelous game because there's no question that the Boston Celtics had the height advantage with that great front line. Chicago really hasn't had the unit. And, you know, while we give the Bulls a lot of credit for staying in and sending this game to double overtime, they had many chances to win. And the Celtics just would not allow it.
Celtics won't go away.
The team that has been in more foul trouble than the Bulls today.
I think the Bulls have played the game exactly the way they wanted to. The Celtics were not able to break the rhythm of the tempo of the game that the Bulls established. Never got pace into it, never got any easy baskets. The Celtics sometimes feel that we've got the best low post players to go to all those matchups. We'll win it that way. It didn't work out that way so far.
All right, now we go to a second overtime. Now, as the game goes on, is there any kind of emphasis that maybe?
But I like how the two commentators, they've been butting heads a little bit on things, but they just go back to being bros like immediately.
When you get into a second 5-minute session?
Well, I think right now Danny Ainge is saddled with 5 fouls. And if he ends up fouling out, one of their good outside shooters goes by the boards. And then Rick Carlisle or somebody else maybe will have to come in David Thirdkill to try and play Jordan. And that could be a big factor.
Can you imagine how tired everyone is?
Game, I don't see any of those guys fouling out for the Celtics.
Walton has fouled out as you look at Red Auerbach and Don Gaston. Don Gaston, one of the owners, along with Alan Cohn, Paul DePee, Bird with 5 fouls, Parrish with 5, Ainge with 5. Walton and Dennis Johnson have already fouled out for Chicago. Charles Oakley and Orlando Woolridge both have 5 personal fouls. So Parrish and Woolridge.
All right, here we go, you guys.
They've done this before.
Here we go.
Middleton will toss it up 5 minutes. 3 timeouts.
In all the highlights that we ever see, there's so much that we miss out on just seeing the Jordan highlights of this game. Even though they're incredible to watch, there's so much to this game, and we never get to see how it really ends, you know, except for the final score. So let's see how we get there.
Boston still has a 20 that they have at their behest.
I got to assume Jordan is just absolutely exhausted by this point, but let's see.
And penalty and bonus on the 4th team foul.
The guy hasn't sat out since, well, halftime.
Or try to.
Ainge is guarding Jordan inside right now. Oakley comes outside. Now Woolridge gets it into Corzine, and Bird steals the ball. Came around, snuck around, and knocked it out of the hands of Corzine.
I had Michael Jordan posting up Danny Ainge, and they turned that option down.
Bird, 3-pointer from the corner.
Good shot.
Oakley. All Chicago red shirts underneath, and now the Bulls will slow it up and set it up here. Michael Jordan has 59 points, and the most points scored in one game ever in the playoffs.
Oh, he got
61
him.
By Elton
He looks tired.
Jordan.
Yeah, that was slow.
Miss. Corzine loses it. Here comes Ainge as Bird gets it out to him. Paxson is back. Seasting open. Woolridge, a good play to get to him. A minute gone by. Bird hits.
Damn.
And the Celtics lead, and it took a minute and 5 seconds to do it.
Seasting, real good poise to hold up and find Larry Bird.
36 points for Larry Bird.
Mind you, Bird didn't score for the first 15 minutes of the game.
Seasting,
and he's at 36.
McHale giving Woolridge that shot. Woolridge going into the hoop.
Oh, risky. Okay, good finish.
And 24 points now for Orlando Woolridge, and we're tied.
Well, they're saying, Orlando, you're going to win it for us in the second overtime. Let Michael take a little blow.
Speaking of Orlando, he's on Burt. Great inside move. Ball knocked
that's
away,
off.
and it was
That's off Bulls.
hit off of Woolridge, who was out of bounds. So the Celtics will maintain possession. 12 seconds on the shooting clock.
Burgess threw the ball off of Woolridge when he was standing out of bounds.
Oakley,
It's a really smart play.
Jordan, Paxson, and Woolridge are out there for Chicago. Parrish, Bird, Seasting, Ainge, and McHale from Boston. Bird, double him in a hurry. Seasting is open.
Damn, man. Good pass, good shot.
Now that is absolutely the wrong guy to leave on a double team right now because Bird is going to look for him.
And a little trap action defensively by the
was that
Celtics.
Paxson?
Paxson brings it across.
That Paxson who slept on that one?
Second overtime session. We were 116 apiece after regulation, 125 all after one overtime. Corzine, no
Is that a travel?
Before the
Yikes.
25 all.
Okay. What's your pivot, bud?
After one overtime.
Maybe that was a travel.
No basket, travel.
Nowadays, that would have just been a single step back. But yeah, no, you can't do that.
He moved that back foot, and now the Celtics
Can't do that back then.
Lead and possession.
That little pick and roll play is causing the Celtics trouble. They're switching onto Michael Jordan, and Corzine is getting a mismatch against
It's
the
just
little
funny
guy.
to think about the way like James Harden plays. He wouldn't be able to. He'd literally get called travel every single play. Everything that he does is a travel back in '86.
McHale, Seasting all alone in three-point territory. Bird coming out.
Ooh, good trap. Good defense, guys.
Long pass, Woolridge.
Get it out, Woolridge.
Wow, blocked by McHale. Loose ball
What was he
out of
doing?
bounds. And it's Celtics possession.
He had MJ wide
You
open.
know, Tommy, you wonder whether the Celtics, looking for 3 points, are saying to themselves, we've had enough of this Chicago team. Let's just blow them out here.
Well, they got to go find some place to get that shot. Seasting's the guy. They should be looking on a double team.
McHale finds Seasting. Quick pass, good one. Ainge. Timeout, Chicago.
That was a big one. I think that was Jordan too.
It matches the biggest lead of the game for the Boston Celtics, with just under 2 minutes remaining in second overtime. 262nd consecutive sellout at Boston Garden are seeing a gem today.
Yeah, no kidding. What a game these guys got to witness.
We're back here, 1:59 to go, 131, 127. The noise, too much for this young tyke. But he'll take it. This is the excitement of the game.
He's still enjoying it.
So now it's 131, 127. Chicago has the ball, and keep in mind that man Michael Jordan, who has 59 points, has missed his last 4 shots.
Yeah, okay. If that doesn't say fatigue, then I don't know what does. And to see where he was positioned on that last play, he was out here while Danny Ainge was wide open out here. I think Coach really messed up here, in my opinion. That's why I keep pointing it out. Is he should have got a breather at the end of the third quarter leading into the fourth quarter. Like, that's just normal. That's just a normal rotation. Especially in a game like this going into double overtime. Like, you got to give the guy at least a couple of minutes of rest on the bench.
Well, he finally might be getting tired.
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I'm kidding. He should have been tired an hour and a half ago.
I know.
Ainge guarding Michael Jordan. Jordan goes
There
up
it
with a
is,
shot and hits
MJ.
it, and has 61 points to tie Elgin Baylor's all-time single-game playoff record that he established against these Celtics 24 years ago. McHale working against Corzine.
Ooh, good rebound.
Jordan the rebound, and with a minute and a half to play and 2 overtimes, Chicago looking to tie.
And the Bulls took off the double team that time in respect for Seasting and Ainge's outside shooting.
Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan.
Damn, back to back.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking
He's just
at it
not
all.
going away. He's just... No wonder why the way they talk about it after the game. Like, he just won't stop no matter what.
All-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan
That was a fantastic move. I mean, he went over 3 guys that time.
No one has ever scored more points in a single playoff game in NBA history than Michael Jordan.
Yep.
A minute to go, and tied at 131.
Whoops.
7 on the shot clock. McHale to SxADk. Open.
This was really smart, you guys. This was really smart. Look at the positioning here. It's like a dual post system going on. All right, you got Parrish in here.
7 on the...
Yeah. Now he's already positioning himself for the pick. It's brilliant. He just transitioned from post to pick. And Kevin McHale, obviously these guys have worked long enough together. He just backs his defender right back into position, and he's just going to slide right by. Like, brilliant.
The shot clock. McHale to SxADk. Open. And the Celtics regain the lead. And if you don't think Jerry SxADk has been maybe the missing ingredient.
That was brilliant by both McHale and Parrish. It's great basketball.
But big 8 points. And incredible shooting.
He went down and doubled at the last instant, and SxADk got the easy shot. He's going to make those.
McHale is on Jordan now with 6 on the clock. He missed.
Well, that's it for you for today, Mr. Jordan.
Not to be denied. He grabbed it away from Oakley. Celtics with 24 seconds to go. And 17 on the shot clock. Lead by 2, and this is a critical possession.
Yeah, it is.
How many times have we said that?
They got a score here, right?
10 on the clock.
Uh-oh.
Bird,
Ooh, good pass. Yep. It's just smart basketball. It's one God-gifted player, Michael Jordan, against a brilliant basketball team. What a game. What a great watch. We will not be denied. Yeah, well, you definitely weren't. Not this year.
But when they needed the chief, he was there to hit the big basket. But first came his big rebound at the other end.
I'll tell you, a big rebound, and somebody hit him at the ankles, I think.
I hit the front of the rim.
Great timing, and as Oakley going down, getting his foot trapped, got it up the court. A little pick and roll. He goes strong to the hoop and just straight up with it. That's pressure basketball, making the big ones when they count.
Yep, great pass.
They got 9
great shot by Parrish.
To the Bulls and 1 timeout, and they need 2 possessions, really. A 3-pointer, and they need a possession again.
I was very impressed with the real confidence of Jerry SxADk at key points. It's going to give Casey Jones, if he hasn't already got a world of confidence in SxADk, to use them in real key situations down the stretch. He might end up in the playoffs being the designated double team breaker when the Celtics really try to exploit that inside game.
They'll go to Chicago to play what the Bulls hope, if they do not come back and win this one. 2 games at Chicago Stadium. It's a best of 5. The Celtics are 9 seconds away from taking a 2-0 lead. But they won't escape out of here without the fight of their lives, especially on their home turf, where they have lost only 1 time all year. Washington and Philadelphia.
What happy Boston fans they must have been all year. Like, the odds, there's only 1 time that you show up to a game that entire season and you lose. Other than that, it's like a sure win.
1-1 in their series.
It's just like a celebration every night.
Detroit, and Milwaukee will try to take a 2-0 lead over the Nets later tonight. Next weekend, we'll be with you Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, and then a doubleheader Sunday, beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern, as the NBA playoffs on CBS continue.
The other surprise is that Danny Ainge has not fouled out with Michael Jordan handling that ball.
Bird didn't foul out either.
Well, I'm saying Ainge played very smart defense. He knew he had to stay in this game.
Especially with Dennis Johnson fouling
out.
9 seconds to go.
You see how quickly they get irritated with each other, but then they're like, oh yeah, we're cool. We're back on the same page. I miss this.
Chicago needs a quick basket, a foul.
I miss being able to have disagreements with people and we're all good.
And now the Celtics use a foul and chop off a second. Next foul will result in the bonus, so they had 1 foul to give in the overtime. Paxson looking inbound. Woolridge, 6 seconds. Woolridge for 3, way short. Throws up an air ball.
Yeah, there was.
Damn,
what a way to go. What a way to go.
And a hard-fought victory for the Boston
good
Celtics
game.
to take a 2-0 lead over
Look
Chicago.
at that, shaking hands, congratulating each other.
Our Miller Lite most valuable player of the game is Michael Jordan.
Yep.
With an all-time record 63 points in a single playoff game. Coming up, final round action from the Heritage. So for Tom Heizman and Pat O'Brien, Dick Stockton saying so long from Boston Garden. The final score, the Celtics 135, the Bulls 131. The NBA on CBS has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
And they just dip out. They just dip out. The game just ended 30 seconds ago, and they're like, all right, deuces, we're out of here. Good game. GG's. Oh, man. All right. Wow, guys, I've got a lot of editing to do, so I'm not gonna take a long time here. What a game! I'm actually so glad I've now rewatched this game so I can get all the context. That I feel like there's a lot of story and a lot of context within this one game that's missing, because we all do the usual thing. We watch the highlight film. And, in a game like this, it's all Michael Jordan in the highlight reel, because obviously he's getting endless buckets with 63 points. But there's so many other storylines that went on here. Like, I mean, the constant Twin Towers situation that was going on with Boston. They rotate one out, but there was always two out of the three big dudes between McHale, Parrish, and Walton. There was always two of them out there just dominating over the Bulls, and that was a key factor. Then the Bulls making a little bit of a run, going with a small ball lineup with no center and putting Charles Oakley at center. Bird not making a shot for 15 minutes, not having a single point, but then busting his fingers on, I think it was it Oakley's face? I can't remember who, but he popped someone in the face, and he busted his fingers in the process. And then after he gets injured, he comes back and I think last I saw he had like 36 points. Like, so many cool storylines. And then Jordan actually struggled a little bit. I mean, he was hot in the first two quarters, struggled a little bit in the third. And like the first half of the third, then he came back alive, carried him all the way through the first overtime. Second overtime, it looks like with about 2 minutes left, Jordan finally ran out of gas. So like really that's how the story ends to me, and it wasn't just Jordan. I was looking at the other Bulls players, they were all dead. They were all dead tired, and they probably should be. Double overtime game in Boston against the best team in the world at this point. They just put up a good fight. That's all I have to say. The entire Bulls team, in fact, not just Michael Jordan, they actually put up one hell of a fight against this 86 Celtics team. So I think that's all I have to say about it. Just wow, what a game. What a game. Bird doing I really enjoyed watching Bird too. Once again, not just a highlight reel, to see what he's thinking as he's catching the ball. There's so many times where you see a wide open shot, or not a wide open shot, but a good look where he could take a shot, but he's always looking for the better one. And he's always willing to make that pass and be a facilitator instead of a scorer whenever he deems necessary. And it's cool to see how contagious that is on his team, because we saw a lot of cool passes like that one from Ainge to, who was it? Was it Parrish? Or no, it was Ainge to McHale in the fourth quarter or overtime, one or the other. And he had a wide open shot, but he just did a nice little like fake shot pass into McHale for an even better look. Like, that kind of stuff is contagious. When you see your leader not being selfish about scoring, it's a wonderful thing, because everybody starts saying, well, if you don't care about the stats, screw it, let's just win. Like, forget about it. It's a team game. Oh boy. Anyways, you guys, I am out of here. I'll tell you what, anybody who's made it this far, who's watched this entire game with me, just like put it in the comments. I watched the whole thing. Just do it. I watched the whole thing. I'm really curious, because it's the first time I've ever done this, how many people are actually willing to do this and go along for, a full basketball game. while hanging out with me. So let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if there's any other game suggestions you have, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot. I already have a couple on my mind as well, and it's something I can do once in a while. I gotta admit, I still have hours worth of editing and stuff to do, so I'm gonna be dead exhausted by the end of this one. So like, I figure maybe I can do this one, maybe, you know, something like this, you know, once a month or a couple times a month. But just let me know how the experience was as a viewer. As I can tell you from my end, yeah, it's a lot of work, but like, this was a lot of fun for me. So if you guys are down for it, I'd like to do more of this. So just let me know how you guys feel about it, especially members. Let me know what you thought about this, because you guys are really the inspiration and the ones who are like funding this. So yeah, I definitely want to hear you guys' opinions. And without further ado, I think my voice is pretty much done for today, so I'm out. Great game. Thanks for watching with me. Like the vid if you haven't done it yet. Shout out to Hoops History 26, the YouTube channel where this came from. Link is down in the description for you guys. You know, I think I'm out. Like the vid, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And most importantly, tell your loved ones you love them. Go reach out. Be good to your people. Have a fun, safe night. You know, have fun, but be careful out there. It's a crazy world. And most importantly, be water, my friends.